All right, testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Just gonna check this out really fast here. Sounds good. All right. Well, it's been quite a while, and yeah, I wanted to do these flights the other day, but unfortunately, it wasn't working out. We still have to inject our weather. So here's Rex Weather Force. Start the weather synthesis now that we're there with clear skies. But the weather shouldn't be too good at Duluth, Minnesota. I keep saying no, it is Minnesota. See, I was saying Montana last stream. So Duluth because the clouds are low, and that's why we couldn't do this for like the past 2 nights. So we're just gonna go with whatever we got, and we're gonna do this thing. We are gonna cruise at 2,000 feet to try to not get in the way of those clouds. But it is. Oh, I had a theme on. Give me a second there. Oh, live weather. Live weather. Bad, Eric. Bad. There you go. But according to this, overcast 2,400. 10 square miles of visibility. It was only, I think, a half a mile or a mile yesterday. So that's why there was no way I could do this flight at all in VFR conditions. And then I was going to practice, hopefully, what will happen in real life on Sunday with some friends. I want to fly from Plymouth to Keene, New Hampshire. And yeah, I didn't stream that at all. I just practiced it really fast because the weather was pretty bad there too. And I like to fly with real world weather. So I did it just with clear skies, and it simulator crashed just as I was about to land at Keene. But I learned a lot from it. I like to do that so that way I get to see some of the territory before I do it in real life. But now my GPS isn't working, so give me a second. The screen might flash a couple times. Just have to see if I can get this working. So this is the GPS out module XCon. It's a program that sends the GPS out to my tablet. But now we're good. All right, and it also erased my plan there. I got them all saved though, so sorry. Seems if it's not one thing, it's another. So there we go. All right, we're good to go now. This flight, by the way, is going to be a little under an hour. So I am going to see if I want to do the next leg, which would be to uh, Kilo Sierra Alpha Whiskey, also in Michigan. So that'd be Sawyer International. So we'll see if we want to do that leg. We're going to land in Ironwood, Michigan first and go from there. Without further ado, let's get to that checklist. Feel free to chat or just watch. It's whatever you want. I want you to be happy with what you want. I already turned the fuel on so that we wouldn't have that mistake. And yeah, seat track back lock good. Avionics are off. Autopilot's off. Throttle 1/4 of an inch. There we go. Mixture full lean. Brakes are set. Master on. Beacon on. Fuel pump shouldn't be on. And now the fuel pump goes on. 5 seconds of rich mixture. Full lean on the mix. Pump off. Okay, clear prop. And master's already on. So here we go. Magnetos with the mixture. And there we go. Gonna go down to 1,000 RPMs. You know what? I'm gonna have to cheat because I forgot to put the 100% of fuel in there. So just pretend that I fueled it before I started it. But it's all good. All right. Auxiliary fuel pump. Yeah, I already got all that. So oil pressure is where it usually is in this sim. It's never the green when it first starts, but it's cool. Lights as required. Landing, taxi, and nav. The nav does the ADS-B. Seatbelts, harnesses, flaps are up. Just double check that with the quadrant there. See, that's why I do that. So now I just have to make sure that stays there. I have two quadrants basically. There's a TPM Cessna style, and then I have one with levers for when I fly the Cirrus and stuff like that. So that's why I just have to quickly check between them to make sure they're both working, but yet not interacting with each other. Heat vent defrost. I would say probably heat because it is 33 degrees out according to the weather here, weather force. 33 degrees, so we'll get some heat on. All right, avionics are going on along with the transponder. I also forgot to do the VAT sim, so let me do that too. Let me even see if anyone's on VAT sim at the same time. I do like real world air traffic control if possible. You know what I mean, on VAT sim. So let's get some music on while we're at it. Yeah. A little laid back, cool lounge stuff while we're getting set up here. Okie dokie. Looks like we're gonna be having no air traffic control here, but that's fine. Sometimes that can be a good thing, you know. But I'd like to be on VATSIM just in case someone pops up. I do like to support them and continue on. ATIS. Let's get to the flight log where I have everything written down. ATIS is 124.1. I also do have to load VPilot, which I did, so I'll put in my flight plan just in case. Did sign up for POSCON the other day, so if I ever get invited, we'll try it out.
1271 at 7. Visibility, none. Sky condition, clear. Temperature, -2. Dew point, 13. Altimeter tree, 0.15. ILS runway, 27 in use. Landing and departing runway, 27.
Just 27.
SR aircraft, say direction of flight.
Connecting to VATSIM.
Short instructions.
Following the flight plan.
Advise controller, on initial contact, you have Gulf.
Alright, we're at Gulf.
Duluth Airport Information Gulf 20000 Zulu. 1271 at 7. Visibility, none. Sky condition, clear. Temperature, -2. Dew point, 13. Altimeter tree, 0.15.
2015. Again, that won't change till we start taxiing. That's a bug in Rex Weather Force, but we'll put it in for now.
All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller, on initial contact, you have Gulf.
Runway 27. Okie dokie. Now we're gonna put VATSIM Unicom on, which is 122.8. Anyways, as I was saying, yeah, I signed up for POSCON, but they have to invite you to use it. It's another online air traffic control service. I'm not sure if I'd make the switch. I have to see what I'm gonna do there. I have to turn this down. Sorry. Here we go. That was a little loud. So I don't know if I want to make the switch or not, but the Unicoms, they follow real-world CTAFs and Unicoms, according to what I've been told. So I'm kind of intrigued about it, and we'll see what's going on there. All right. So we're with Gulf, going 27. Got to go back to my checklist, make sure we're good. Altimeter set, transponders, alt and squawk, which it is. ADSB would be the nav lights. That's what I'm pretending. Radio test. I mean, I could try it, but I don't think anyone's out there. VATSIM Unicom, November 489 Echo Foxtrot. Radio check, please. And I think anyone's going to answer back. Taxi lights required. Brakes on the way out. And let's taxi in runway 27. Get my port diagram here. We have to turn this around. Face the other way, so we're going to be going that way for runway 27. And let's see what happens here. So, brakes are good. Go to the right. Again, my right rudder still broken, but it seems to have like worked its way out a little bit more. So I don't know what's going on, but I am waiting for them to get the Thrustmaster TPRs back in stock. So that seems a little bit better. It still gets caught up a little bit, but I can power through it. So if you see me do any weird thing with the right rudder, just know it's because of by the way, we're treating this like non-towered because no one's on VATSIM, by the way. But this would be a Class D airport, so you would have to have ground and tower before you take off. All right. But we will call it like it's Unicom here, so non-towered. So that will hold here. Say, Duluth traffic, Cessna and Echo Foxtrot crossing runway 321, Duluth. I don't know what the taxiway is because there's no sign, but we're going with it. It's on Alpha in real life. Probably should have said Alpha, but it's okay. That's the main terminal building right over there for Duluth, so that's why we went to the FBO General Aviation Parking. We're going way too fast. But yeah, we got 2 flights this weekend booked. We don't know. The weather up here in New England's been pretty bad, so. But I'm hoping that on Friday evening, I'm going to try to get current on my nighttime landings. 3 to a full stop in the 152 to do that. And it's not that I'm flying at night anytime soon, but once I do that, I am good to carry passengers at night, which is an hour after sunset for the next 90 days. So that way, if I do want to go up with some friends, because they said they might want to go up during the night, and honestly, I want to get more nighttime in there too. This is the ILS hold short line, so we can keep going. Oh wait, it said restricted access, so now I have to see what's going on here. Alpha 5, there's a military part over there. Yeah, Air National Guard. So, but that's the end of the runway. So I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. That was pretty weird. I don't know if they have that modeled in here. They might not. Hmm. On the chart, it says I'm about to go into restricted access. But I think we're going to have to make this one up a little bit. That was a little weird. Let's see what it looks like outside, because there's supposed to be a restricted taxiway and ramp here. Oh, yeah. All right. They kind of did it, but they don't really show you that it's restricted. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn backwards. We're going to do our run-up over there, and then we'll go to 27. You just couldn't see that. It's just weird. And in the airport chart, it doesn't show you a taxi is connected to the end of runway 27. So I'm kind of intrigued at this whole thing. But let's turn this puppy around. That was weird. Let's pretend that I did not go in the Air National Guard restricted ramp, because there were no markings except for the ILS hold short. And turn right onto Alpha 5 after we do the run-up over here. So let's just cross this line, pretend that this was the restricted access line. All right, see it. All right, brakes are set. Back to our checklist for the run-up. Run-up, brakes set, fuel set to both. Good, trim set for takeoff. It is. Flight controls, in, right, out, left, to the in and back. We can look at the ailerons in the elevator while doing that in real life, but I'm just going to pretend that I did. Flight controls, I already did that. Annunciator lights, testing them. I think we should get some lighting here. Looks a little dim for me. Just a little bit. There we go. A little bit better. Panel. That's the radio light. Okay. Panel. Just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Take on instruments. Turn coordinators in the middle, no flag. Heading coordinators like 270. Good. Rudder speed looks good. Altimeter. I don't know if that's good. It should be good. Let's see what the airport altitude is here. MSL 1,419. Yep, that is correct now. So that's what I'm saying. See, it wasn't right at first, but now it is. I don't get it. I did test the annunciator lights, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, make sure best power. I'm going to go to 1800. And before we check the magnetos, we're also going to lean out the mixture slightly to get our best RPMs here. So 1800. Leaning out the mixture, it should go up on RPMs. If that goes down at all, we stick it in a little bit more rich. Ooh, I thought I saw it go down a little bit. I'm going to leave it right there. Go back to 1800. All right, right magneto, check. Looks good, back to both. Left. Back to both. Vacuum looks in the green. Amps would be on 0 or slightly charging, so that's a little bit off, but it's always like that. Oil pressure, oil temps in the green. Idling. Looks good. All right, and throw out friction lock, which we'd never be able to do in the sim. We're good there. All right, we're good. No flaps needed. Let's do the briefing. If there's a problem with takeoff roll, mechanical emergency or otherwise, we will abort. If there's enough available runway ahead of us, we'll abort takeoff and land directly on the runway. If we are under, let's say 2,100 feet, there's a problem, mechanical emergency or otherwise, we'll land directly. Have no more than 30-degree turns. Best glide speed is 68. Yeah, it's right down the runway on the winds. Yeah, they are. All right, so if there's a problem, we're above 2,100 feet, mechanical emergency or otherwise, we'll take a turn to the, let's go left and land downwind on the taxiway, the grass, the runway, whatever's available to us. Best glide speed is 68. Strobes are going on at this time, and let's get out of here. Again, we're treating this like a non-towered airport, even though in real life it's Class D, because VATSIM has nobody. Hitting mode C right now, so they see me on VATSIM, and the other traffic is Microsoft Flight Simulator traffic. So if you did want to fly with me, feel free to try to boot on really fast. I'm under Eric Flight US, really easy to find, and I'm on the East server. Okay, no one on final, downwind. I haven't heard anything. So let's call it. Duluth traffic, Cessna Echo Fox Trot, departing runway 27, departure to the southeast of Duluth. And we're good, so here we go. Get on the runway. Rotator 55, climb at 74. We'll get up there, and then I'll tell you about my experience with freeware and payware scenery in this. Because I took the time to put a lot of scenery in, seeing that I couldn't really fly for the past 2 days. But we'll tell you what I've learned about that. It's kind of aggravating in a way. Alright, with that, we're good to go. Stopwatch. Flight should only take a little over 40 minutes, so. Alright, with that, starting the stopwatch, and here we go. Flight log, I should have a magnetic heading of 105 by the time I'm en route. So try to remember that. Stopwatch is working. And again, if you feel like chatting or whatever, you go ahead and chat. I will try to respond to everything. Probably should have rotated about 10 knots before that, but that's cool. Sometimes you wait, especially if it's windy, you know, just to get a little couple extra knots. But we're right there now. Very good. And we're climbing to 2,000, so we won't even get to 2,100. I forgot about that, but now I remembered it. And we will take a turn to the left as soon as we're clearing. Basically go the other way, so. But we have to keep it low for these clouds. The ceiling's at 2,400, so I don't even know if that's legal. Probably gonna have to be 1,900 because that kind of dropped down 100 feet on me, so. This is where we're staying, which is a little dangerous, but it's the sim, you know? What am I gonna do? So. Alright, mixture's already leaned out for where we are. I'm not gonna touch that. I am gonna try to trim out and look to left. We're good. Clear. Turning left. Again, this is a flight I still wouldn't do in the real world due to the low ceilings, but gotta get these flights going. I want to be done by in November sometime, and if we don't get this leg done, we're gonna have massive backup on our timing schedule. So I'm flying the Cessna 172. It's an SP, which is also known as the S model, and it is part of the premier Deluxe version of the Microsoft Flight Simulator. The only thing I've modded so far is the GPS, which I don't even know if it's really heavily modded anything. We're clear on the left, so, but I liked it so far. It's pretty good. It floats a little bit on landings, and the simulator in general could do a little bit more digital head movement and winds and stuff like that, but it's definitely getting better as they go along. So, but we are gonna have to keep this rather low tonight, and this is not real world time, but it is real world weather, so I wanted to be able to see things, especially with the clouds being so low. Alright, we're flipping this right around. Goodbye, Duluth. It's been nice knowing you. And I wish I could have seen you in snow the other day, but it was a half mile of visibility, so there's no way in heck I was gonna fly that. Maybe we'll keep it around 2,000. Kinda not following the VFR distance from clouds, though. We should be at 19. Well, let's do 1,900, and we'll see what happens. You're supposed to maintain 500 distance between you and the clouds, vertically, so above you. And again, something I wouldn't do in real life, but we're in the simulator, and I want to get these flights going. So 105 should be our heading, and it looks like that's going to be good. I'm going to go a little bit more than 105, though, because I want to line up a direct route. So trim it up. And we'll see if the clouds rise. They're supposed to rise a little bit as we get to Ironwood. So, but hey, we'll get low and slow here. That's a little low, though. That's a lot low. I gotta get these flights done, though. Could have waited another day. Even the Northeast, we have crappy weather here, so I wasn't going to do that Keen flight again. So, and pray that the simulator does not crash. I'm about to explain why. So I installed a bunch of freeware scenery, and what I'm saying is I went to flightsim.to and I downloaded like every single United States scenery they had, almost, and Canada, and I put it all in the sim. I launched it all in the sim. So then I start up the sim after that, because it's pretty easy to install scenery compared to FSX and Prepared. And yeah, it took 10 minutes, and I think it was 53 seconds. I had a stopwatch on it. And it took that long for the sim just to load to the movies, the intro movies. And then it took like another, I'd say, 6 minutes to load the actual sim. It was quite interesting. So what I've done is I am trying to install and uninstall the scenery from where I am. Like I took Disney World out and stuff like that because we're not flying there or even close to there tonight. So we'll see what that does, and hopefully we shouldn't have any problems. But all right, we should be at the other side of Lake Superior, which is what we're crossing right here, in a total of 14 minutes. We have 5 minutes total flight time right now, so we shall see what goes on with that. But Lake Superior, everybody. We've made it to Lake Superior. I'm still going to trim up because this thing is making me a little nervous. Now, over water, you can go however low you want. Is it smart? No, heck no, it's not. In fact, you'd want more altitude if you're going over water, because you don't. If you have engine trouble, you want to have enough time to glide somewhere at least close to the shore, and you'd also be wearing personal flotation devices, hopefully, which I do wear when I go over water in real life, like long distances. If it's a short little route like Martha's Vineyard, I don't. But if I'm going across Plymouth Harbor to go to Provincetown, that's when I wore it. So, but again, the plan this week is to get in the 152 on Friday evening. I might fly to New Bedford, eat at the restaurant there because they have an outdoor patio and they're pretty good on the Cobb salad there. I kind of like it. Quick little jaunt there, then back to Plymouth, and we'll wait till it's right around an hour after sunset, which should be around 7 o'clock-ish, I believe. And then we'll do 3 full stop landings, and we'll just call it a night, and I'll be good to go for flying passengers at night. So that is what the FAA wants. You have to have 3 full stop landings within the preceding 90 days to take passengers at night. I also have to talk to my flight instructor because I have the FAA Wings Safety Program, and for some reason I submitted it to him because I'm going to use my check ride as the flight portion of that, and he just can't see it in his email, so I'm wondering what the heck's going on. It says that it got submitted to him at the right email, so I don't know. But if not, I'll be doing a little quick flight review of sorts. It won't be a full-out thing, but it'll be a good thing to do anyways, because it's been like almost a year since I did my check ride, and any training is not bad, so. But we shall see. Alright, clouds look decent. I think we're at a good altitude. I mean, I'm not happy about being over water at this low. Hey, look, it's a ship, everybody. Cool. I haven't seen ships in forever, so flying low has its rewards, I guess. But Lake Superior, looks like this is the simulator, and again, Duluth is all the way out there, so. Yep, speak of the devil, Minneapolis Center just came online, and how do I know that? I'm looking at the Fantastic website, which I kind of look for, and also it'll pop up on here. I'm not going to do flight following though, but they have my flight plan, and they can contact me if they need to, so we'll stay at 2,000 now. Again, low flying for today, or I should say tonight, even though it's daytime, the sim, because we just have to keep under these clouds, so. Alright, once we hit that other coast, it should be around 14 minutes, so we'll see. That means we should be there in about 5 more minutes on the other side of Lake Superior. By the way, I also want to have a little shout out here to Jet Pilot Cinnamon for sending me this awesome Jet Pilot Cinnamon sticker. I finally get to show it on a stream. And I sent him an Eric Flight keychain, which I send to my most dedicated people who watch my streams. So keep watching, and there could be rewards for you. But I have another batch going out this weekend, and just keep chatting with me. Let me know you're there, and then when I acknowledge that you've really liked watching my stream, I will probably offer you a free Eric Flight keychain, totally free. You just have to provide your address. So I think they're pretty cool. But Jet Pilot Cinnamon did get an Eric Flight keychain, by the way. He's also the founder of the Virtual USA Flying Club, and he's also a real pilot. He's actually on a little vacation right now. Perks of the pilot, he got to fly to a destination for free, thanks to his airline, and he's having the time of his life, it looks like, out there. So it's all good. Hey, how's it going? Thank you for calling me Captain. How's it going with you? Getting around Lake Superior, gonna get through it. We're very low, but we're gonna keep going, low and slow. Oh, awesome, cool. What'd you fly? It's been hard with the weather here, yeah. So I'm hoping that the weather will cooperate this Friday and also Sunday. I'm supposed to take up some friends in the 172 again, and I think we're going to try to go to Keene, New Hampshire if that's possible. So, oh, cool! You did the total visual thing. Nice. Then you had Sled Alpha Adventures. What's his name there? Come on, he'll come back to me. I'm terrible at names. Terrible at names. But Slent Alpha Adventures was doing a DCA ground, I believe. So cool. Rob, thank you. You know, I'm like an idiot when it comes to names, so I'm sorry. I really am. I don't know what's wrong with me. But we are coming up on the other side of Lake Superior. I kind of remember doing this last time I did it around the USA flight last year. And the water didn't look this good and prepared. I put that. It looked good, but it wasn't this good. But we are under these overcast clouds tonight, which is why we're flying at 2,000. Not the safest thing, but getting there. And we should be there in 14 minutes. That means another 2 minutes of flying. We should hit that coast over there. I really wanted to see snow, though, in Duluth, because they were snowing there. But like I said, half a mile of visibility 2 nights ago. And then last night, like, the ceiling was down to like 300, so that wasn't going to happen either. So, and I do like real-world weather on these flights. I don't like to just say, oh, clear skies. If it's a fly-in, that's different. If it's a flying event, that's different. But on the Around the USA flights, I want to do real-world everything, except for times. I'll change times, so. Oh, cool. Yeah, Duluth's not that far. How'd that go for you? And by the way, thank you for tuning in, Brian. I want to fly to Canada someday for real, but I think I got everything I need. I even increased my insurance because there's certain insurance requirements, but we can't fly there anyways right now because Canada has the border closed, and rightfully so. Everyone's trying to take care of their own right now. And Duluth has customs too, so you could do that in real life. So that'd be cool. Alright, let's get a look at Lake Superior as we're just about to cross it all the way over. And seeing that some of you didn't tune in before, I never might worry about that because basically I just have to pop up when I can thanks to having kids and a wife, which is not a bad thing. Just saying that I have to get out here when I can. But we are going to Ironwood, Michigan, and then I'm going to think about going to Saginaw. airports in Michigan as well. Sawyer International Airport. And I kind of remember going there on the last around the USA flights from last year too. So this is kind of something I've done before, but in prepared version 5. So, but the simulator tonight started up with all the freeware scenery and payware scenery I have now. I installed it and it was like 53 gigabytes of scenery. I tallied it up after. It was a lot. Again, I went to flightsim.to and downloaded like every single Canadian USA scenery I could find. I'm still not done with that either. But the simulator does not take time to loading up tons of scenery. And I have one of those Samsung Evo, one of those fast drives, SSD drives, and that didn't even help. It still took like 10 minutes and 40 seconds. Yeah, we're at the southern tip of it, so we're literally just going over it really quick, and then we're going to be going over, what's it say, Chequamegon? I think I got it, Chequamegon Bay, which is a bay right off of Lake Superior. But again, this is just the southern tip, Duluth direct to Ironwood, Michigan. And this will be our check. Yeah, it's one of the Great Lakes, that's right. I got that. Alright, hitting the coast here. We're a little slower than what I thought, but that's okay. So when's the loft data was for 3,000. I got 15.5, so I'll call it at 15 and we'll just keep flying here. We should have a heading of about 105. So let me update my log. And I'm going to adjust all my times here. It's only a minute extra, not that bad. Alright, we should get to Port Wing, which I have to look at this because I planned this a long time ago. Port Wing, which is... Well, you'd think I would have picked Ashland, but... Port Wing, where are you? Oh, it's a little town off our left here. So up the coast here should be Port Wing. Because I wanted to pick something after that long flight over Lake Superior there. So, but I just hope that this doesn't crash like it did last night when I just flew to Keene by myself without streaming, because then I'm going to have to delay you guys on the standby for like a couple minutes while it loads up. But I did take out scenery to make it load faster, so if you're going to get tons of freeware, it's awesome. It looks great, but it makes the scenery just... it makes the sim just slow down on first loading. So. And I also have to say that the freeware scenery, seeing that they use the satellite imagery here, I think the scenery now in this simulator for freeware has taken a big upswing. So they're just using the Google data and making it look better in high resolution. Like I looked at Disneyland the other day with my kid, and we were able to pick out like all the rides we did, and it looked a lot better than the default because the Google scenery is just a little bit more defined, shall we call it. So even freeware developers are doing a great job. It's not like hit or miss anymore. We have to try each one. You can basically just throw it in and see what it looks like, and go, hey, that looked awesome. So. All right, Port Wing is still coming up on our left. I don't know if we're gonna see it, but I have the GPS on it. There's not a lot of good waypoints here. But is it? There's a lake actually. Maybe I didn't pick the best checkpoints for this. Yeah, this long lake off our right too. So look for a lake out there. That's kind of south of Port Wing. Take a look outside. Hey, so let me get your opinion on something, guys. Do you think these trees look too tall and non-realistic? Because there was a mod for that to make the trees like smaller and quote-unquote more realistic. And I didn't load it in because I didn't think the trees looked that bad, but I guess that some of the alpha and beta testers, which I should have been a part of, but I just didn't see my email, said the trees were too tall in the simulator. They weren't real lifelike. So, I don't know. I think they look great. That's just me, though. Alright, there is a road. No, there's not a road. Maybe there is a road coming down from Port Wing as well. So, but we should be there. In about 19 minutes. So any minute now, we should be right south of Port Wing. So we'll keep looking. But I think we're a little bit behind that. So our ground speed's 119 knots, and I think I calculated 127. Yeah, so checkpoint's probably gonna be a minute or two late. But hey, I gotta ask another question too. When you use that emoji, did it actually pop up on the screen? Because I tried having an emoji like thing. So feel free to try some emojis, guys. See if that works. Because once we get 11 more subscribers and an average of 3 viewers, which I'm halfway there, then I can start doing some custom emojis, which would be cool. Get some more interactive stuff going on. So if you're not following on Twitch already, you'd help me out a lot if you could follow me on Twitch as well. And again, we're 11 people away from 50, and I appreciate everyone that's followed so far. I also appreciate my YouTube audience, which is where Eric Flight started, just doing all my flights there and posting videos. And I did post a real world video end of last week. Willimantic, Connecticut was a good flight, and I have another 2 flights to edit. Plus, I should be getting video. I'm gonna try to do some video on the real world flying on Friday, as long as the weather holds out. But the weather hasn't been doing too good around here. Like today, you could hear jets really low from my neighborhood. We're kind of like right below a major arrival route for Boston, depending on the runway. And they were lower than usual because no one's really flying that low because the clouds are just terrible here. So, all right, update on where we are. Here's the Vatastic website. Here we are right there. Duluth's right there. So almost halfway, believe it or not. It's not a very long flight, which is why I said we might just continue on to Sawyer International and get 2 legs done tonight. But Port Wing, we just passed, so I'll say it's about 21 minutes. And, oh, there it is. It's right there, so you can see it. Oh, cool. All right. So that was our second checkpoint. We'll say 21 minutes. And I'll add 2 minutes to everything now, which is not a terrible thing. It's just that the winds are estimated, especially here, because I had to use the winds for 3,000 because the winds allow forecast only goes to 3,000, and we're staying at 2,000. Now that bay I talked about before, let me see if I can pronounce it. Chiquamagan Bay. Once we hit that bay, that's our next checkpoint, which you can't miss, which is a bay right off of Lake Superior, and we should be there at a total of 30 minutes, so probably about another 8 minutes or so. But we're gonna get through this. We're gonna head more east. I was talking to one of my students today. We have remote learning on Wednesdays, and he streams. Like, he's got the whole setup for Twitch. I was like, dude, what do you stream? And then I was asking, this is of course at the end of class, this is the last 2 minutes, just to go on record with that, so we're packing up anyways. And I was like, you know, what do you stream? And he does like Call of Duty and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I was like, what's with that Among Us game? Because it seems like that's the popular game nowadays. Like, even in the Virtual USA Flying Club, Jet Pilot Cinnamon will get on there and he'll say, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a game, anyone want to join? And I haven't bought it or anything, but is it worth buying? That's what you have to ask. So if you have any opinions on that, let me know, because my son has been playing Storm Chasers from Steam for a while. He's a big Storm nut. Like, he's all about telling me what F class the Tornado is and this and that. So, but future Storm Chaser there, that's what he says. So I basically will not talk down upon anything that he wants to do, because people told me never to be a pilot, and look at me now. So, and now my father says, if I knew that you like flying, you should have went to the Air Force. And I'm just too short to meet those requirements at the moment, which I didn't know about for pilots, which makes sense because the plane's to a certain level. I'm like an inch below. Unless they rounded it up, then I'd have a chance. But other than that, I really didn't want to be a professional pilot. You know, I just wanted to fly a plane. So, but the Air Force is, I did look into the reserves of the Air Force and the Army, and I decided to go to college for a year just to see what that was all about. And honestly, I just never went back. It wasn't that I didn't want to serve. It just didn't work out with the plans I had. So, and if you did serve, thank you for serving, because we do appreciate you here on the Eric Flight Twitch and YouTube channels. It's not always easy, especially in the current political climate, but we don't get political here either. We just want to thank you for your service. My dad actually served in the Army when he was 17. Never graduated high school, went to the Army. And I remember him. Yeah, well, I also have corrective lenses too, so that's the other thing. So I didn't think I had a shot. I mean, if I was going to do the reserves, I think I wanted to do Air Force. And I thought I was in pretty good shape. I played high school hockey. But then I was injured and I did track. So I was jogging like at least 5 times a week and everything. I mean, I was always a little heavy, but I barely made the requirements for the Air Force. And I was like, I don't get it, because like I know I'm short, and it was based on height and weight calculations. But yeah, it was a little more stringent. Army, no problem, they'll take you. And I remember my dad with the Army recruiter before he came was like, don't trust anything he says. And in a way, it's true, because they have enrollment numbers they gotta get. But you know, I was wanting to find. I took the military, what is that, the ASVAB or whatever that is. And the only thing I didn't score well on was mechanics, which to this day I've fixed, because I actually do a lot more work on cars now, because that's just the type of person I am. If I don't understand something, I try to learn about it. But yeah, the Army had no problem with me. They were all about saying, especially when they learned my dad was in the Army before. Then it was, oh yeah, you know. But again, I gave college a year, and then I actually switched from computer science to music, of all things. And now I just work in music full time as a band teacher, and tried the rock band thing in my 20s, and did the cover band thing up through like my early 30s. Then we had kids, and that's just on hiatus until later on when kids grow older, I guess. But I did get my pilot license, so that was something we did that I wouldn't be able to do if I was performing all the time, because a lot of weekends and late nights. So it's all good. Life finds a way. It's like Jurassic Park. Life always finds a way. All right, we'll get up to that Chequamegon Bay. I hope I'm saying that right, because I'm working really hard on that. Which is right in front of us, right out there. You'll have the town or city of Ashland, Michigan, I believe. I think we're in Michigan now. Yeah, no, Wisconsin, excuse me. Ashland, Wisconsin. To the south there. Everything's going well. I just wish we were a little higher, but these clouds are making it impossible. So, I wonder if Weather Force updated the weather for where we are. I don't know. It doesn't really tell me what station it's using. It's just blank. But what we'll do is we'll add a station here on my favorite airports. And the closest airport's Kilo Alpha Sierra X-Ray, Kennedy Memorial in Ashland. Let's see what that says. That says 10 square miles, broken at 3,800, so we can go up a little bit. Broken at 12,000. Altimeter 3021. I probably could have just dialed that in the radio, so why don't we do that like for real? 126775 will update the altimeter setting as well. I want to be a little authentic here. It's not like you can't do that on your phone, but you probably don't want to do that while you're flying, so. And that's if it comes through. It's not coming through. But Chequamegon Bay, right there in front of us. Lake Superior's up to the north, out there in the distance. So, never went to Lake Superior in my life. I have been to Niagara Falls and stuff, and upstate New York. So, but I've never been around Lake Superior. And I think the furthest I've went central United States is probably Chicago and Texas. So, and then I did go out west to Los Angeles. That's the farthest I've been. That's probably the only place I've really been out west, other than the Hoover Dam and Las Vegas. And we did cross over into Arizona just to say, hey, I went to Arizona by driving over that bridge. So everything's looking decent though, and cloud level is supposed to be going up. The weather does not work in Microsoft Flight Simulator for John F. Kennedy Memorial Airport there, and I'm making sure I have the right frequency. So let's change it back and forth and see if it works. Nope, I don't hear anything. So anyways, we'll just go with Rex Weather Force then. What does it say? 3021 altimeter. There you go. Back to VATSIM Unicom, because that's what we stay on. But again, there's no approach or anything. There is center. I could do flight track if I wanted to, but there's really no one around me, and it's a short flight. So I am not going to do real flight following, which you don't have to do in the real world. You just have to keep your eyes peeled if you don't have it. So, real world flight, would I do it? Oh yeah. Yeah, it's always good to have that extra security there. Alright, Chequamegon Bay. I got 30 minutes or so. We'll count that as 30. That's awesome. Now we're going to the White River, and that's 5 minutes away. That should be after we get to the other side and a little bit into it. So probably about halfway, we should see the White River. It's all good. Really liking the boats. I haven't seen boats in a long time on this. So I have the traffic settings. I have it set to ultra settings and traffic at 100. The only thing I really turned down was the airport traffic because I thought it was unrealistic at not control the airports to see all that ground crew and stuff like that. So off to our left there is Washburn, Wisconsin. I don't know if that's where Washburn Guitars got its name or start, but Washburn, Wisconsin. Now that makes me want to look it up on Wikipedia. All right, let's do that. Washburn Guitars origin. Sorry, I'm a guitarist. When I see things like this, it makes me want to check it up. Nope, Chicago, Illinois, in 1883. So that's where it was first created. So it has nothing to do with Washburn Guitars. And again, Ashland, right over there. Ashland, Wisconsin. Take a look at that. See, they have a windmill out there, which is maybe on the sectional because it says 1,000-foot towering object there. But usually I thought they would use a windmill icon for that on the sectional. Let's get an updated frames check here. Yeah, we're still doing about 40 frames per second with all this too, with the streaming and everything, so I can't complain. We are over Chequamegon Bay. It's a nice sight. Another boat out there. Yeah. Really? Yeah, again, I don't know how realistic it is because I've never been to Duluth, but the bridges are generally awful in the simulator. And again, some people are importing bridges and stuff, but the horror stories, if you load all that freeware scenery, it takes the simulator quite a while to start up. And again, I went on scenery binge the other day. I put like whatever payware I had and also tons of freeware for the United States and Canada. And my simulator, I timed it on my stopwatch. It took it about 10 minutes and 53 seconds just to get to the intro movies, like the AOSO, whatever that is, video that comes up. And then it took another about 5 to 6 minutes to load the whole simulator after that. And it looks like it crashed because it just freezes on the screen. But what it's doing is loading all that scenery. So, but I guess the way to work it, I guess for now, like I said, is to divide your scenery into regions. I'll show you what I did. So I got like regions going on, and I pulled out scenery, like the big scenery that I don't use while I'm flying somewhere. So like right now, we're not going to be in the Southwest U.S. So I have like Bryce Canyon not installed. And what I'll do is I'll move these folders over when I go fly in the Southwest, and it'll have that scenery. But some of these are really big. Disneyland's like a gig. Yosemite Valley's like a gig and a half, I think. Zion National Park's like almost 2 gigs, so I pulled out the bigger ones, and yeah, it still took it about 4 minutes to load, but I don't mind waiting that long for that. And if I pulled out more scenery, we'd be fine. Excuse me. So, White River is going to be coming out of Lake Superior here, so not this river coming up, but the next one. It's probably that one, maybe? That's what I'm thinking. And there should be a town of O'Donnell down there, which probably is there. Should be on the other side, so. But even around where I usually fly in real world, we have like the Newport Bridge and stuff, and they're really awesome visuals to see. In fact, some of my real flight videos, I mean, check the one out where I flew with my friends, and I have some pictures around the southern part of Rhode Island and turning up through Fall River. There's a lot of nice bridges and scenery there, but it doesn't look like that at all in the default scenery here, because again, they just the Bing scenery, the 3D models and stuff seem to be a little less on the resolution than the Google Maps. People are slowly trying to get Google Maps scenery in there for whatever buildings they want to see. So I had a scenery from Buffalo, New York, and that looked pretty good. But again, that was kind of big too. And I have a custom scenery for Niagara Falls, which is also free. I found all these at like FlightSim.to, by the way, and they have a pretty good thing. You download it, you can log in as you, and it'll tell you what what you've downloaded already, what's been updated. So it's a pretty cool system. There's the White River right there coming out of Lake Superior, which is our next checkpoint, and I have about 36 minutes. I said 35, so we'll say 36. We'll add another minute on. Not a problem at all. Give me a second here. Tablet's doing some weird opening of windows. All right. So I said 36, right? 40, 47. Okay. So now, 4 minutes away should be the hump in the coast. I know that wasn't very descriptive, but on the sectional it has this little jutting out of land. I call that the hump in the coast. So when we're parallel of that, that's our next checkpoint. It was kind of hard to see checkpoints and plan them out, so that's cool. I can't wait then, because I think that we're running around the perimeter here. So I'm thinking that in the future we should see Cleveland again. That was really cool when I did it last year and prepared. And Boston's not that bad. Again, the resolution of the buildings is not top notch, but again, that might be because Bing's just lower in quality than Google Maps, and not only that, but they probably want to like save some vertexes and stuff to make it run a little smoother. But and I'm familiar with Boston because that's where I went to college. In fact, I only live like 50 minutes southwest of there. But we're not that far out from our destination for now, Ironwood. So we're going to get a weather report, hopefully 125.175, and get this thing going on. We're pretty low already, and pattern altitude is 2,230. So if anything, we're going to climb a little bit while we get some weather.
Kilo India Whiskey Delta Automated Weather Observation 2000 Zulu. Wind 212 at 10. Visibility 9er. Sky condition clear. Temperature 0C dew point. 1 tree C altimeter tree 021.
One more time.
Kilo India Whiskey Delta Automated Weather Observation 2000 Zulu. Wind 212 at 10. Visibility 9er. Sky condition clear.
Clear.
0C dew point. 1 tree C altimeter tree 021.
All right, back to VacSim Unicom, which is 122.8. I got my weather 21, which means we will probably try for runway 27, which is on the other side. So 27 is a left traffic pattern, so I'm actually going to turn in here and go a little south, and we'll do a left 45 downwind to runway 27 at Ironwood. And the CTAF just happens to be 122.8 in real life at Ironwood, so that's what we would dial in for traffic there as well. Again, we're going to climb to 2,200 for the traffic pattern altitude. bust that speed a little bit. Again, we're flying so low tonight because the clouds were pretty low out of Duluth. Real life, probably wouldn't have flown this flight. Sim, we'll do it because I want to get through these flights. I already waited 2 nights to try to get this flight done. And as soon as I land, I'll make a decision on whether I want to continue on to Sawyer International. But everything's already planned out, so I might do it. I might do a little small, quick standby screen just to load all the graphics and everything. Take me like a minute or 2, and then we'll continue on our way if I decide to do that. I always wait until I land to see what I decide. But that hump in the coast right there is our next checkpoint, and that is something you can see at least, but that's what I meant by the hump in the coast. So that'll be the last checkpoint I really checked, honestly. So let's see what it has here for time. 40 minutes? Yeah, I'll count it as 40. Alright, that means we're about 7 minutes out from the airport. But it's going to take us a little longer because we have to go to the south of the airport, then do a 45 left downwind to runway 27. Small little class E airport, non-towered. So we stay on Saitek. And on Vatastic, I don't think anyone's around me. Nope, not really. It's just us going into Ironwood, Michigan. So I'll probably give you an update too, if you haven't seen it before, what the ultimate plan was for our Around the USA flights, and show you where we are and how far we have, how much further we have to go. I'm hoping that November will be enough time to end these flights. So, and the city of Ironwood is actually south of the airport, so we might even see that as we go to transition through the southern part of the airport to do a left 45 to downwind.
I want to do barrel rolls. And
Yeah, thank you so much, Wookie. That took you a while.
That kind of flying here. Dangerous.
How's it going, Wookie?
Too many lawsuits.
Well, who does?
Heck flat. Thank you for following. Hope you enjoyed that little sound file I had going on. Did a little editing there, but that is from the movie Space Cowboys, and I love that movie. So, but how you doing tonight? And welcome, and thank you for watching. See if we can get a visual of Ironwood. Should be coming up out there in the distance. So, maybe more like that way. Oh, yeah, I'm having a pretty good flight. I can't complain. It's a short one, and the ceiling's low, but not anything I do in the real world just because it's that low, but I'm on the simulator, so we're just going to go for it. That's what we do, right? I missed the snow in Duluth where it was only a half mile of visibility, and that was 2 nights ago. And I got tired of waiting, so when it was decent, where I thought I could do this flight, I said, yeah, because I'm going to do these in real world weather. It's getting pretty dark out there, so we'll see. I do appreciate you giving me thumbs up on the Perch USA Flying Club. I hope you like the real world videos, because I make them mostly for me, but I invite others to enjoy them as well. So thank you. Thank you for watching them. It makes me feel good about the 8 hours of my life I spent on editing that video. 3 cameras plus the cell phone camera to take some moving video. It takes a while to edit those. Okay. Well, thank you. And remember, for the Virtual USA Flying Club, those members only, for now, I am holding, quote-unquote, a clinic, hopefully on Saturday from 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to go over non-towered communications out of my home base on VATSIM. So you have to be a VATSIM person. And we're going to go over how to do that, because I want to try to get more people out to events. And one big hang-up on VATSIM and its usage has been, well, I don't really know how to communicate. So we're going to go over that, at least for non-towered airports, on Saturday. There's no dumb questions, no nothing. So if you're a Virtual USA Flying Club member, or if you want to become one, the link should pop up right here. See, I'm good at that now. It's backwards for me. Over here on this banner stuff, there you go, right there. It'll have the Discord that we all join, but I'm going to be holding a little clinic on non-towered airport communications. And while I'm not perfect, I am a real-world private pilot, so I figure I can at least help some people. No one's ever perfect, honestly. But that's why I said there's no dumb questions. Just come on out if you can, and if you don't feel good about VFR communications or you want to brush up on it, and we'll see what we could do. I might do that. If it goes successful, I might do that a couple times for members as we go, because I was made an administrator, so trying to get more people to come out to the events. However, sadly, I don't think I'm going to be able to make the next event. But I am planning an event for November, so we'll see. Alright, we got to head more towards the airport here. Oh, whoa, we had some lightning. Let's see what the Sky Vector is saying for the METAR here. So, overcast, 2,400. Doesn't say anything about storms. Freezing rain. I knew that there was an icing air mat, thank you. But that is interesting that there's lightning in the distance. Let's take a look at that. Wow, huh? Again, that's why we're low and slow. Let's turn towards Ironwood here. You don't want to go south, because that would be bad. Oh, there's some lightning. Wow. When it rains, it pours. We haven't seen lightning or rain in a while. We did see icing going into Duluth the last stream, and that was interesting. But what was the altimeter setting? 3021. I also have to set that, so let me do that. No, we're good. All right. Try to get down to 2,200. We're also going a little too fast there, so. Yeah, it does. But, you know, this is probably the adventure for the sim, because you would no way in hell would see me flying in this in real life. So. If you check out one of my first Around the USA flights, it was in prepared version 5, but I think it was the second flight I took, and I have like a whole playlist now in order. Not that I want you to spend like 50 hours of your life, you know, watching my vid. I mean, if you do, go ahead. I don't mind. I appreciate it. But if you look at the second flight, I think it was New Haven to Allentown, Pennsylvania. Yeah, I kind of pushed that weather a little bit because I had updrafts, downdrafts, and I was right over New York City. I was like, oh, I'm going to be able to see New York City. It's going to be great. Yeah, it was lightning, thunder, rain, updrafts, downdrafts, and I'm talking pretty violent ones at that, so. All right, we're going to head into Ironwood now, which should be out there in the distance. We're also going to trim up a little bit. We are going to go right near the town, or maybe even a little bit over the Ironwood town, but Ironwood is out there. So let me call up to the Unicom. And let me get my my phraseology here. Oh, they didn't do it right. Okay, that's all right. I'm going to say Iron County. Iron County traffic, Cessna Echo Foxtrot, 9 miles to the southwest, setting up a 45 for runway 27, Ironwood. But, yeah, it's... Now I'm trying to look at Sky Vector and seeing what they're saying about the weather there. Overcast at 2600 south of the airport. Overcast at 6,500. Lightning in the distance. So, yeah. So that Rex weather force is doing pretty good. That lightning is supposed to be very distant, though. And I'm a little concerned about the elevation here. But, pad altitude is 2,200, so we'll just hold it and see what happens. And if I do that real-world flight to Keene, New Hampshire with my friends, I'm glad I did it on the simulator. There's the airport in the distance. Because there is a little mount hill type thing on the inbound leg to runway, was it 32, 27? I forget what it was. 23, I think it was. But I have to look out for that. And that should be a good flight if the weather cooperates on Sunday. Friday, I'm going to get current, hopefully, for my nighttime flying. 3 full stops. Hour after sunset. And call it a night there. And then we'll be pretty good as we get into the winter hours here. The time's going to change here in the east, at least. We're going to fall back an hour. I think it's November 1st. And then we'll get more night flights hopefully in. But I will try to record the night flights. The GoPros don't do that good at night. but it is very cool to fly a plane at night and control like the airport lighting and everything like that. So, because unlike the simulator, a lot of airports have radio controlled lighting, so they don't have lights on all the time, and you have to go on like a lighting frequency. At Plymouth is 122.9, so you dial it in, and then you click the radio 7 times, and it light up all the lights. So it's pretty cool to unleash that power that you have onto the airport lighting. And for other places, it's just the CTAF, and you click it 7 times. So, but that's all in the chart supplement. Ironwood traffic, Cessna Echo Foxtrot, 5 miles to the southwest on the 45 for runway 27, Ironwood. I should have said Iron County, but that's okay. There we go. We're going to land there, and then we'll decide if we want to continue on to Sawyer International. Right now, I'm feeling, yeah, I think I could do it. It's only 10:45 here. I do have to work tomorrow, but I think I'm up for it. It's going to take a little bit. Around another hour, I think. I already got it planned out, so I'll look at it after. Let's just get on the ground first. So safest way to get in any airport. Let's start the clinic now. Is to do a left 45, depending on the traffic pattern. So see, I see this guy here. I can see any traffic that's in the pattern. I can see anyone at final bay. That's why the FAA and training as a private pilot, they tell you to try to enter in the 45, safest way to get in any airport. Can you enter in other ways? Sure, you can do whatever you want, but I always try to do the 45 because it gives you maximum visibility around the airport. So, and that's Microsoft Flight Simulator traffic. So even if you did kind of crash into me, he ain't gonna do anything. So we're gonna turn downwind pretty soon, and then get the landing going on the 172 here. So if you want to see how we do this in the real world, watch and take notes. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not, but I haven't crashed yet in the real world, if that means anything. All right, we're clear on the left. You always look for traffic there. Now, when we're a beam of the numbers, we're gonna slow this thing down to 1700 RPMs. And we're going to wait till it hits 110 knots, and then you can put your first 10 degrees in at 110. Which is outside the white arc, I know, but that's just the way the 172 is. So. Iron County traffic, Cessna Echo Foxtrot, Bidfield, left, downwind, runway 27. Nope. No, yeah, the best way to see the visibility of the airfield is to go left 45 or right 45. But you can go crosswind, you could go straight in. It's really up to you. You just gotta make sure you call it on the radio in non-towered airports. And hopefully people are hearing you and looking out for you while you look out for them. Alright, we're a beam the numbers here, parallel. So we're gonna slow down to 1700. It's just a little baseline that we do. It's the same thing in the Cessna 152, by the way. Once it goes on 110, 10 degrees of flaps, angle down. You could do that too. Yeah, you could do that. So. Then you kind of gauge, you pick a visual of where you want to start turning your base, but you also want to look at your speed here, because it should be around 80. So I just pitch up till it's about 80 there. You can see that it's still climbing, but it's going to start falling again. That's not as realistic in this model. And I must say, right behind this river, I'll take my left base. Again, you look before you turn. So we're clear on the left. And we're going to descend at 80. It's not really descending, which is part of this model problem. But we will get down there. So we're at 2,000, which is below 2,200, which is pattern altitude. Seeing that on below, and then you can see the RPMs have to go up anyways. It's all a factor of wind. So there you go, 27. Good. Iron County traffic, Cessna Echo Foxtrot, left base, runway 27, Iron County. All right, now we're going to go down to 1,500 here. Kind of want to do that right away. And another 10 degrees. And we're going to turn final, clear on the left. Yeah, I mean, you could enter in whatever way, as long as non-towered airports, that is, because you just have to make sure you're looking out for people and they're looking out for you, like I said. So, all right, we want to be about 70 knots here. So now we're looking at our airspeed, and it's not so much 1,500 anymore. It's, can I keep it at 70? And then I'll do a final 10 degrees of flaps here. We have 30 degrees on this thing. And we're going to try to land it around 65. If it's a little slower, that's okay. We don't want to be below 60, though. Okay, right about there, full flaps. Line it up. And this thing will slow down, or you're going to slowly pull up the throttle to be around 65. But usually with that 30 degrees, it slows it down where you have to put a little throttle in, honestly. So, here we go. It's quite the windsock there with the apron, huh? Okay, as we get closer, throttle out. And about 10 feet off the runway, we want to start flaring. So right about, still floating. See how it floats a little too much? I don't like that in this model either. Usually it'd be a little bit more. So now I flare, and I'm looking off my left there. Peripheral vision. You can hear the stall warning horn. But I am on the ground. If you hear the stall warning horn when you're landing, it's not terrible as long as you're right above that runway or just on it. And aerodynamic braking. See, this thing still wants to fly. Flaps up, and we pull this back for aerodynamic braking and try to stay off the brakes, but it wants to fly in here until it's like almost non-existent. We'll take a turn to the left here off the runway, and we'll call clear. And you might notice that I didn't call final there. That's because you fly the plane first, you communicate second. So there's nothing wrong with not calling as long as you kind of call as you're coming in and you're aware of what traffic's where. So we'll clear the runway. I have no clue what this airport looks like, by the way, but flaps up. We also have to say Iron County traffic, Cessna Echo Foxtrot, clear of runway 27, Iron County. And strobes are going to go off. We're also going to check the trim. This is all on the checklist for post-landing. Mixture will be full in right now, just to make sure we're there. And we're good. All right, I'm going to send the drone out to see where the heck I'm supposed to park this thing. I'm thinking over there. That's what it looks like. So where are we? Oh, good. All right, awesome. So we're going to take a turn to the right. We also want the ailerons to be towards the right because we want it to deflect into the wind because the wind's from 27-ish. And now that's ahead of us. We have the aileron go all the way in. So this is stuff that you learn and you have to show on your check ride pilot. It is insane. I don't. It's definitely not lifelike because we hardly touch the brakes usually on a normal landing. We use a lot of aerodynamic braking. We do like brakes right at the end just to slow that final little speed down. So, all right, we got a marshal there. I don't know if they'd have marshal in real life, but welcome to Gogebic, Iron County Airport here in Ironwood, Michigan. As soon as I land this thing, as soon as I park this thing, we'll turn the engine off. We'll let the fuel truck come over. And I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to go to Sawyer International here. Get another leg done. It's going to be a late night, but we'll see what we could do. My right rudder's not working again. All right, now we're good. Man, I need new rudders bad. Tell me where to go. Oh, he's telling me to shut off already. Okay, hey, that's cool. All right, let's shut it down, get a refuel here, and then we'll set up for Sawyer. I'm just going to leave it. I'm not even going to put the standby on there, but I have to change some things here. So, ELT, verify silent, avionics off. Turn off everything here. All lights except for beacon, because the engine's still on. Mixture, full lean. Thank you. Mags off, master off, beacon off, and you can see that. That's another thing with Rex Weather Force, is that when you land and it does that, it doesn't inject the weather. It goes back to clear. So I'm going to stop the weather synthesis again, and I'm going to start it again, and hopefully it goes back to that dreary weather. It's supposed to be overcast at 2,400. All right, so here's what we're going to do. One, I'm going to change the graphics of today's flight to the next airport, which is going to be Sawyer International. So Kilo India Whiskey Delta. Thank you for hanging with me here while I change this over. I just want to make it look good. Where are you? There we go. All right. 2 Kilo Sierra Alpha Whiskey. Marquette, Michigan. That's where we're going to go next. We're going to see if that Direct 2 works in this thing now, because it wasn't working before. And also, I'll show you where we're going here. So I already had the setup ready to go. We just flew Duluth to Iron County here, Ironwood, Wisconsin. And now we're going to go all the way to Sawyer. Should take us, let me swap out the flight logs here. Should also probably do the fuel truck, because in real life that could take up to half an hour. But it's coming over. It's going to ask me about fuel. And for Sawyer, it's going to take us about 55 minutes. So yeah, about an hour. We'll get out of here as soon as we can so I can go to sleep sometime tonight. I didn't sleep that well last night. So instead I just watched The Walking Dead till like 2 a.m. Terrible idea. I had to wake up for like 5:30, 5:45. So I'm a little exhausted, but again, we're flying the simulator, not real life. All right, yeah, I'll take a full, because I will always take full if I have the weight and balance and it's just me in the plane. Well, actually, it said 2 people, but still, I could do full on that. That way you have maximum distance. All right, is there anything else I have to do? I don't think so. Are you all ready? Let's do this thing. Okay, we're going to go to Sawyer International. It takes about 55 minutes. I'm supposed to have 15.3 gallons of fuel, which we do, because I just did full, but I have more than that, so which is good. And that 15.3 includes the 5 for VFR day and also 1.1 for the run-up. I'll probably just do a quick run-up like I would do getting out of an airport, because I already flew it today. So, all right, let's start it over here. The fuel's still on, so that's good to see. Seat track back lock, avionics off, autopilot off, throttle 1/4 of an inch. Good. All right. Mixture full lean. Brakes are set. Master on. Beacon on. Fuel pump on. 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Real world, if I stopped that quick, I probably would not need to do that, because there'd probably be some leftover fuel, so I'd probably try without that. But here we go. Clear prop. Go. I'm going to go to 1,000 so we don't fall any mags and we don't drive it too hard. Here we go. Oil pressure. It always looks like that, but it would probably be like right in the bottom of the green in real life. Lights as required, so put the landing taxi on right now on the nav. We'll pretend that's ADS-B. Mixture as required. We're good for now. Seatbelts, harnesses, flaps are up. They are. That's because if you did a pre-flight, that'd probably be down all 30 degrees because you check the flaps when they're down. Heat vent for us, we'll leave the heat on. Current temperature here, according to Weather Force, is 33 degrees. And again, I also have 2,000 feet. I should probably also do the flight plan. Real world, you cancel the flight, you close the flight plan, but I'm gonna change this here. So KIWD, KSAW. I don't know what time it is. We'll get an update on that. Should take us about, what did I say, 55 minutes. It's like an hour. We have full fuel. I'm going to go at 2,000 because of the clouds. I'm going to save this. Then I'm going to file it. Someday I might make a video on how I do that in the real world, because it has nothing to do with VATSIM at all. It's really just what we do when you want to file. All right. Back to the checklist. Flaps up, heat, yep. Avionics on. Transponder's already on, which is good. I'm going to see if we can do this like the real world here. Let's see if we can push direct here. And sometimes I need a little familiarization again. Kilo. This has a mod in it, so I'm hoping it works. Sierra. But this is how we'd enter in the real world pretty much with these 2 knobs. Alpha. Whiskey. Then we're supposed to hit the activate button. Let's see if it works, because it wasn't working before. Alright, it does. Enter user to KSAW. Alright, good. It wasn't working like that before the mod, so that mod definitely helped me a little bit there. Awesome, because I was doing all that, and when I pushed enter before, it wouldn't go direct at all. It would just do that, and that's it. So it just stay on that screen forever. Alright, avionics on, ATIS, AWAS. We'll get an updated ATIS here. It shouldn't be that much different. 125.175.
Kilo India Whiskey Delta automated weather observation 2100 Zulu. Wind 243 at 8. Visibility 9er.
3018. That one changing.
Whiskey Delta automated weather observation 2100 Zulu. Wind 243 at 8. Visibility 9er. Sky condition clear.
Clear.
0C 2.
Thunderstorms to the south. Alright, with that, we will mode C this because there's no one here. I'm not going to do flight following because this isn't that long of a flight, and not only that, but there's not much traffic around me. At least there wasn't last time I checked. Where did that screen go, though? Did I close? Fantastic. Oh, no, I didn't. Here we go. So, again, we're going to go from Ironwood, and it will update. Did I file my flight plan? I did. Let me file it one more time. There we go. And this is Class E, so I don't have to call up any tower or anything. This is a non-towered airport, so I get to just depart here and just call my traffic as I go. Oh, that weather in the distance must have been this stuff right here. Actually, this stuff right here. And then there's a big cell right there, right out in Chicago. Is that Chicago? Yeah, that's over here. So we are north of Chicago, and we're doing the perimeter of the United States. And last thing I told you, I would let you know how this flight is going around the United States. I'm going to load the master plan here. As soon as it wants to log me in. Here we go. So I'll give you an idea of where we've gone and where we're going. Alright, we departed out of Plymouth, Massachusetts, my rural base, home base. That's where I would fly out of in the real life. And then we did the whole perimeter, going down south, all around Florida, all around Texas. We got Microsoft Flight Simulator right about here, so everything else has been Microsoft Flight Simulator since then. It was prepared version 5 before. And now we are at Ironwood, and we're going to Sawyer right there. So that's what we're going to end with tonight, and it'll be all good. So, all right, I got to get out of here. We have bed calling after this flight. So, also I got to change my plan here. If we do all this on the apron here, we don't want to mess anything up here. There we go. All right, checklist. Altimeter, transponder, ADS-B on, radio test. Let's do a test with the center here, 133.4, just to make sure they can hear me. So this is probably going to be the most interaction with VATSIM tonight. Minneapolis Center, November 489, Echo Foxtrot, radio check please. Did I say Minneapolis? I think I did. Toronto Center is also in range, it says, but I don't know if I want to do that. Alright, we'll just leave it on VATSIM Unicom, and we'll go with it. So, taxi light is required. I'm going to test the brakes on the way out. I'm going to go back to runway 27, which means we're going to go that way. Let me just double check that. Yeah, we're going to go that way, left, all the way down at the end there. Okay. Here we go. Brakes are good. And here we go. Going to Sawyer. So if anyone lives around this area, let me know. But we'll see how the clouds go too. The Sky Vector, which I kind of use for weather on the fly here, is saying the ceiling's still low. But at Sawyer, it actually picks up a little bit. So let's see what that says. At Sawyer, it is overcast at 3,300. So we'll stay under 3,000 for the whole flight. Go from there. And 114 nautical miles to go. Overcast at 2,400 here in Ironwood. Okay, we'll do a really quick run up. Nothing big. We'll check the mixture while we're down here and depart and go. And honestly, in the real life, that's kind of what I do. If I fly into an airport and like go there for lunch, I'll do a quick run up before I go on the runway. I'll do a full one still, but I'll try to do it as quick as possible to get going. And if you just tuned in, we are now on our second leg of the night, and it'll be our final one. We're going from Ironwood, Michigan to Marquette, Michigan. So we are now in Michigan and heading back east to Plymouth, Massachusetts, hopefully for November. And then we can say we've done the whole perimeter of the United States. Once again, second year in a row. Not the perimeter, though. Last year, I just kind of went more direct, so. And feel free to. So my nameplate on what? What? Does that say nameplate? Nameplate on what? I'm just a little confused. Oh, cool. Awesome, because I've never been there in my real life at all. I just chose it because it was around the perimeter there. So, yeah, we'll go to Marquette and hopefully you can tell us if it looks right, if you're still on. So, but thank you for tuning in tonight. Awesome. All right, do a really quick run up here. It's nice that they have a run up area. Let's go to the checklist. Again, simulator, most of the time you never have to do this because the plane flies right. But local time is 4:25 in the afternoon. I set the time to not be real, so I have daylight, and then real world weather is on, and it looks to be real because that's overcast still. So, all right, brakes are set, fuel set to both, trim set for takeoff, good. Flight controls, do it quick, awesome. Annunciator lights look good. Instruments, turn corners in the middle, no flag. 3, yep. All right, good. That should be right. All right, horizon. Yeah, that is right actually. All right, good. 1800, and we'll also adjust the mixture here, seeing that we're 1,200 feet in the air. Can't hurt. I never do that in Plymouth because we're only 150 MSL, but it's about 1,200 here. Okay, so we're at 18. Go to 1,800, and now we're gonna lean the mixture out until it gives me maximum RPMs. So right about there. All right. 1,800. Check the mags. Right. Good. Mags are like the spark plugs in the engines, by the way. That's what we mean by mags. Left, they're not spark plugs per se, but they kind of share the same function. Back to both. They're the things that fire off the electrodes. They're basically the electrodes. So, vacuum looks good. Amps would be charging slightly, but this model never does that. Oil pressure, oil temperature in the green, idling. Should be around this area right here by the time it's done. Well, I appreciate you tuning in tonight, though. So thank you for tuning in, and hopefully in about an hour, when we're outside Marquette, we can compare notes on how it looks. So, all right, back to 1,000. If there's a problem, the takeoff roll, mechanical emergency, or otherwise there's enough available runway ahead of us, we'll board takeoff, land directly ahead. If we're under 1,900 feet and there's a problem, mechanical emergency or otherwise, we will land directly, have no 130-degree turn, and best glide speed 68. If we're above 1,900 feet and there's a problem, mechanical emergency or otherwise, we will take a turn. Let's get my weather out here again. That's why you write this stuff down. 243. Take a turn to the left, land downwind on the taxiway, the grass, the runway, whatever's available to us. Best glide speed is 68. And we did that because we want to go into the wind so it pushes us towards the runway if there's a problem, and not out of the runway. All right, with that, we're good. Strobes are going to go on. I am on VATSIM, and this is a Class E airport, so we're just going to use VATSIM Unicom. No one seems to be on final downwind base. Okay, so here we go. Iron County traffic, Cessna Nautica Foxtrot, departing runway 27, departure to the east, Ironwood. And here we go. Flaps are up, right? Just double check it. Can't hurt. We're gonna rotate at 55, climb at 74, and be on our way. Take us a little over an hour. I have to set my stopwatch again, so let me do that. Come on, pilot watch. This is the same watch I use in real life, except it starts its stopwatch by itself when it detects you in the air. So it's pretty cool. It's not even the best Garmin pilot watch they have, but it does its job. So there we go, and full. I'm gonna put the ailerons to the left because the windsock is showing wind from the left. That's true because it should be from 2-3, and here we go. A lot of things to remember, but you get used to it, and this keeps me sharp when I fly in the real world too. So, rotate. That elevator was very sensitive there. I'm gonna slow it down just a little bit till we get to 74, and then pick it back up. So, have a little right rudder to keep the ball centered. and things are looking good. Yay. All right, so on this one, I'm going to gauge it. I'm going to say 2,000 at first because of the clouds. And then if they rise at all, which it looks like they're doing on our route halfway through it, then we'll climb a little higher because we want a little safety net just in case there's an engine problem in real life. But in the sim, there almost never is. But I have had problems way in the past. I was flying a Beechcraft 1900 in the air. The landing gear got stuck. I remember that was like in the late 90s. So it's been a while. Things can happen. And goodbye, Ironwood. I know it didn't stay long, but there are some thunderstorms to the south here. We saw those coming in. So we'll see if we can get some visuals on that. We're at 2,000. Should be like 2,200 for traffic pattern, but we're going to fudge this a little bit and take a turn to the left. Here we go. Put it on the left. Okay, we're going to take a 45 out. Gives us maximum viewing there. There's Ironwood. Fly this a little bit, and then we'll take a left-hand turn and get on course. All right, first checkpoint will be Lake. Let's see if I can pronounce that. Lake Gogabik. It's a big lake. You can't miss it. And I'm going to put it on the left. I'm going to take a left-hand turn. Probably depart the left downwind. Or a little wider than that. So we are climbing way too much, though. So we have to get this down. But the clouds don't seem to be a problem. If I'm doing this visually, we're still at a good level here. You know, they said clouds were at 2,400. They don't seem to be in the sim. And that's what we're going to go by. So we'll stay at 2,500. See if that holds, because this wouldn't be a bad altitude. Safer than 2,000. Again, I calculated all this stuff. And we should be heading about 101 once we're on course here. And that will correct for the wind. Ironwood, we will see you later. The town of Ironwood is right down there. I think it's a city, actually. So that's Ironwood. The airport out there. A little bumpy. Nothing we can't handle. Alright. Let's turn more on course here, now that we're getting outside the airport here. You don't see any lightning out there like I did before. And Rex Weather Force is showing that it's 33 degrees. Not much on the winds there, but overcast at 2,400, but it's not because I'm at 2,500. And it's still no effect, I'm climbing way too high. I don't know. Usually the clouds are pretty good on METARs. It's just the winds can be different because the buildings that are on the field that get the radar, the weather equipment. There we go, we're on our way. Lake Gogabik in the distance will be our first checkpoint. I think that might be it, just a slither out there. Trim down. It's nice to see that the GPS works. It says we're going to be there in about 52 minutes. And, yeah, it is what it is. That is Lake Superior to the north there. That little, well, I shouldn't say little, that big lake off to the distance. And we will be going and following Lake Superior, basically. It will always be to our left. If you like what you see, though, please do push the follow button. I think we need 10 more to get to 50 followers on the Eric Flight Twitch. Also, if you're on YouTube, feel free to subscribe and like any videos you might see. I have some real world flight videos there, as well as streaming. I have everything archived. I have a playlist of all the Around the USA flights. I don't expect you to watch those in one sitting, though, because they're all real time, so you'd be there for quite a while, probably about 40-something hours right now. But I do appreciate if you think it's worthy enough to hit that subscribe and like button and the follow button on Twitch. 50 people following me will let me have the ability to have some custom emojis and everything, and I think it's called associate level. So we're getting there, and I think that's because I must be making some content people kind of like, which is nice to see. So, but we did start this all on the Eric Flight YouTube channel, and that's been a couple of years. I started it when I was training, and now I film flights that I take in real life. So, and try to share my experience with others. And I want to stay towards 2,500, so we'll see about that. So no one really out there, there's us, and we're going to Sawyer right there. So right there, we do have some storms south of us though, which is what's causing all these clouds and everything. Oh, well, thank you very much. If you just subbed though, it should pop up on stream. So we'll see if that does. It should send me a nice little auditory message of you signing up. But thank you, I appreciate that. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're at a little over 300 right now, and I appreciate every single one of you that has subscribed. But with 1,000, we'll be able to monetize some videos, and I'll be able to make even more money for World Flights. Because I have another YouTube channel called Eric DIY, which actually paid for my all my flying basically, and I kept tabs on it since the beginning on what I paid for, like equipment and everything, and over the years I was actually able to make enough off the Eric DIY channel to pay for my flying, so made everything a little better for everybody. So, well, thank you. Yeah, you know what? I might be able to play it for you anyway. So here.
I want to do barrel rolls and
There you go.
loop-the-loops, yeah, all that kind of stuff.
We don't do that kind of flying here.
Just substitute Eric Flight for 3 Mate 1.
Too many lawsuits.
Well, who does?
I had to push the
does.
test widget button for you, but you need something. If you subscribe, you deserve it. Alright, we're directly on course. Lake Ogabic must be that little slither of a lake out there, and trim this out just fine and be good to go. We're going a little fast though. We want to be towards maneuvering speed, just in case there's a problem. So, but yeah, I am slowly updating the I'm glad you liked it. Space Cowboys, awesome movie with Clint Eastwood and stuff. Little edit by me. But what was I saying? Now I totally lost track of what I was saying. I do that all the time. Oh, we want to be at maneuvering speed, so that way if there's any abrupt changes in wind and stuff, we can have abrupt maneuvers and not like kill the plane, you know. We're still going a little fast, so we might just go with it, but that wind is definitely pushing us. We're also going to look at this, because if the airspeed needle goes all the way down and we're still flying, there's probably some ice in the pitot, because there is an ice warning out of Duluth. But it seems like we're hitting some winds here, so I thought it'd be a little bit more overcast than this, though, so I'm just going to go with it, because this helps us. Nine minutes into the flight. I'm supposed to be over Lake Ogabic at 12. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, Duluth, I mean, it didn't show like real life as much, but there was some push back in Duluth. And this one just had me have a downdraft, so the winds could use a little work in the simulator still. They're better than what the default in FSX was, but they're still not quite where they should be. X-Plane definitely rules on that. Not that I fly a lot of X-Planes. I've just been a Microsoft guy for a long time, since like 1998, so. But yeah, GPS is saying we should get there in about 53 minutes. Ground speed's 113 knots according to my GPS. I calculated 129, so checkpoints are probably going to be a little late compared to what I calculated, but that can happen in real life. It's all an estimate. You just don't want to be too far off with things. And I'm still getting some downdrafts here, so I'm trimming up. Try to get that going. 101. Let's also check the DG here. Should be about almost 100. Yeah, we're right. The DG doesn't really deviate like real life either. It deviates usually more. You want to check it every 15 minutes. So. Oh, cool. Well, let me know if Let me know if you see me at all. Eric Flight US, because I am on the Microsoft Flight Simulator East server as well as VATSIM. So, and feel free to join us if you want to. No problem in that at all. Always welcome people to fly with me. So, simulatediaviation.com, by the way, I am an affiliate of them, and Tim and Marty from Simulated Aviation usually come out and join me when they can, but they're having a fly-in or a flight route, just a very generic come out and fly thing on Sunday, which I'm probably not going to be able to do if the weather's good, because I'm going to be flying with some friends in the 172. So, Slippery 196, where's that? I'm going to look. No. Well, feel free to join us. Just let me know where you are. Oh, too slippery. 1626, baby. No, I'm just heading east, so just head east and try to join me. Here we go, back at 2,500. And that indeed is Lake Gogabik. You can't miss that checkpoint. So, we'll see. Yep, all right. Well, what's your call sign out here? I'll take a look out for you too. Yep, see, it's got that downdraft again. And I think Rex Weather Force does a better job than the default, I gotta be honest with you, so. Okay. Take a look outside here, so we get to Lake Gogabik. Pretty nice. It's gotten a lot more green as we're getting east. All right. Sweet. Yeah. I don't really get a big choice on when I fly. I try to fit in between having two kids and my wife, who's being very nice to me tonight. So. And also working as a teacher remotely from home during the week, so I have to wake up early for high school. So it's always a good time, you know. We just try to fit it where we can. But everyone is basically in bed except for me, so. I would drink coffee, but then I'd be up till like 3 a.m. And last night I was up to 2, which wasn't good, so. Alright, here's the lake. I got about 14 minutes. What did I say? Did I say 14 minutes? I said 12. So we're going to add 2 to all checkpoint times, and that'll give us a more updated figure on what we're going to do. But I have a feeling those are going to slow down as we go, because the ground speed is a little slower than I calculated for the winds aloft. Alright, we should be at the middle something lake on right. The middle of Bruce Crossing and the lake. So Bruce Crossing is a little town on the left. I didn't know if we'd see that. Here's Lake Gogabik. Got some nice houses here on the waterfront here. That must be a nice place to live, huh? And there's a big lake on our right, Bruce Crossing on our left, which it has like a coming together. It's off of Route 45. So keep a lookout for your hose pipe 1. See what's going on and go from there. I am using GPS, but I have like checkpoints I check in to make sure I'm like on track. So I just have it going straight GPS from my tablet. I have a tablet here. This is what I use in the real life with a VAR. I haven't loaded there, but I calculated when I get on course to stay around 101, and then I just do checkpoints to make sure I'm there. And use the GPS just to double that, and that way I can pick out like visuals and stuff better. So just like I do in real life, I use the same tablet and the same program. But the wind is definitely affecting us here with some updrafts. Oh, do you see that condensation? Is that condensation on my window? Or is that just a reflection? I don't know. Thought it looked a little ripply there. I guess not. That must be my eyes playing tricks on me. Okay. Come on, trim down. These updrafts are killing me. So, I mean, I guess if you wanted to do the nav, which we could do some VOR work here too as well. We set it to nav. Here's my localizer, or basically my frequency for nav. And if I dial into the VOR there, Sawyer VOR is 117.1. And I'll just set it to, I'll show you what I mean. So Sawyer's got the VOR on field. Okay, it's going to pick it up hopefully. And then I set this thing till it says 2. But I think we're a little too far out to pick it up right now. Well, actually, no. I just didn't switch it over. We'll see. Yeah, I think we're a little too far out because it's not picking it up. So, if I do GPS, it'll do the same thing. It says I'm a little to the north of the line, which I am. But we'll do a little VOR practice. We'll dial into Sawyer VOR and check the radial I'm supposed to be going in on. And our next checkpoint should be coming up in a couple minutes. We're about 40 minutes out according to my GPS. And let's see if that air met is still valid for icing around here. Yep, moderate icing. So just be on the lookout for icing. How about turbulence? Nope. Turbulence a little bit where we are. They have a air met for that, which is probably why we're having updrafts and stuff. But once we get closer to Sawyer, we'll be fine. And I never did update the fly live thing, so let me do that now. I knew I'd forget something. So if you look at that gold bar right now, it updates it, and when that gold bar diminishes, it tells you that we're closer to Sawyer International. So that's how that works. 20 degrees out. Outside air temperature. Local time of 4:47 in the simulator. That's not real life. The weather is the best of my ability, at least. And we'll see when it picks up that VOR frequency. Actually, do I have any? Oh, that might help too, huh? It didn't light up though. Come on now. There you go. Turn on the nav 1. It might help, right? Yeah. I think we're too far out. In real life, you check up chart supplement and it'll tell you how far out it works too if there's a problem. Sawyer. They didn't line this up very well in the air, so. Alright, so forget that, because Avere is a little off on the chart supplements here. Yeah. Oh, that sucks. That's one thing about Avere. It works great, but once in a while when it downloads all the new chart supplement data and stuff, it's a little off. In that case, I'd probably look online for that information, because I never really got an update. Oh, I never really bought the chart supplement for these areas of the United States because I never fly in them. But they do have it all on the FAA website for free, so. That should come alive at some time. Alright, Bruce Crossing will be out there somewhere. And then there should be a big lake. Ah, there it is. Right there, I believe. That will be, when we're parallel of those two places, like right in the middle, that will be our checkpoint. So, good checkpoints to pick. Oh yeah, I honestly don't even have any clue how to fly the club, and I'm probably gonna have to do it because a lot of the people in the Virtual USA Flying Club, they have like bush flying, so we're gonna have to see. So, and thank you for your service, by the way. Okay, that's South Branch River right there. It's a dead reckoning tonight. That's what we're using along with GPS to back us up. But when I did my private pilot training, I just did everything dead reckoning with no electronics. Did the traditional way. Because if electronics fail, you gotta know what you're doing. Okay, let's look outside the plane, see if we can see it. Who's crossing? Probably that out there, I'm thinking. There's that big lake. Big lake's over there, so. Let's go look for a highway going north, which is Route 45. Something that's over there. Alright, well, we'll call it pretty soon. I got the GPS to back me up. I got 22 minutes of flight time. And I said 23, so that's about right. Yeah, we'll call it 23. I don't have a problem with that check time. Alright. And again, I planned everything out on my tablet. I actually have a stylus that writes on like a flight log for me. It's a template. Perch Lake is our next one, 8 minutes ahead of us. Again, we want to keep a 101 heading for wind correction and everything. And Perch Lake will be off our right in the Big Bear military operations area, which I would have checked in real life and made sure that it was not active or that could get through there. But seeing that we're on the simulator, we just forewent that and just kept going. But if you probably want to be on approach on this too, so that way they can track you and make sure that you're going to be good. But you gotta share some of those videos with me on the Cub there. And I know that I don't let people post links on the chat because I've had some spam, but I gotta check that out because I basically fly what I fly in real life. The only one I have been flying, other than the 172 and the 152, again, planes I've flown in real life, is the Cirrus, and that is a fast-moving plane. That thing's kind of cool to fly. The thing that's messed up in the simulator though is that it has that detent because it has the controllable pitch prop through the throttle. That's just the way it's designed, and the detent on it, it's all messed up. It'll like go down to 20 and stay there for a little bit. So, wow, nice job. Did you forget to fuel to 100% because it defaults to 50% in like all aircraft? You should ask Mike if he ever did that in real world. That's awesome. Remember when we did that fly-in for the July 4th fly-in there, and we did the Boston fly-in? A lot of people. Oh, interesting. So what do I do? It just burn through the fuel? Yeah. I always go full if I can fit it in the plane. So that's just me. But again, I mean, you have the passengers and stuff because you're doing the whole thing with the passengers' weight and stuff like that, right? So it's a little different in jets. Again, that's the big lake that I was using as a visual reference out there. It doesn't have a name on the sectional, but it's south of Calderwood, Michigan. And our next one is Perch Lake, which should be on our right. It's just really hard to pick some visuals. I think the FAA says that the average passenger is 170. I mean, I haven't done weight and balance in a jet in forever. Nor did I really even know back then what a weight and balance was when I did the virtual airlines. So, just kind of went with it.
I want to do barrel rolls and loop-the-loops. Yeah, all that kind of stuff.
Glider
You know,
58,
kind of
thank you
flying here.
for following me on
Dangerous
YouTube.
and irresponsible.
Somebody lost
on our
it.
quest to get
Who
1,000
does?
subscribers there.
does.
Hope you're doing good tonight. Hope you enjoyed the little auditory message you just heard from Space Cowboys. If you haven't seen that movie, you gotta see it. It's amazing. And it's a good one. Especially that first scene. Again, I don't mean to bore anyone if that's watched my streams before, but the reason why I had that was when I went on my Discovery flight the first time, my wife didn't know that I would actually go through with it, but I knew I was going to go through with it. The Discovery flight was more of just like a, hey, I'm going to go see if I like it, but like I was doing Sims since I was 18, and see, then I got the means to do the private pilot. I was like, I'm going to do this thing. All right, it's IDing, so now we got it there. That's what I was waiting for. We set this to 2 on the VOR. And that is right to Sawyer. So we're going to wait for that flag to go up. Here we go. And we center that needle ever so slightly. And you can see that it's right about my heading. About 100. So we're right on course for Sawyer. I'm not even going to go there. But anyway, she said I'm going to be like that guy from Space Cowboys. Like, I want to do barrel rolls and doop-de-loops. And yeah, I just flew the plane with a big smile on my face. That's all I did. So there was no throwing up or anything. And I have done, I think, 2 spins with my instructor before I did my check ride as a private. And yeah, I don't really get motion sickness, so I think that's a good quality to have. But I actually like spins, but I won't do them by myself, obviously, unless, you know, I happen to get in one, which I haven't. So the worst I've had is carb icing. And while I was shitting my pants for about a minute, I just got to hold myself, just pull up carb heat. Boom, done. Cleared it right out. That's actually on video, not me pooping my pants, but the carb icing incident. I was going to Block Island. I think it was my 2nd or 3rd flight as a private pilot, so, and you know, obviously you trained for that, but you really never go through it unless you have it. I think we had very minimal carb icing one time, and it was like almost nothing, so. But yeah, I was landing into Block Island in the middle of the Rhode Island Sound, and I cruised at 6,500 to have enough altitude to get somewhere if I had an engine problem. But I was descending, I think I was around 3,000, 4,000 feet, so I was descending into Block Island. I would have made it still to the island, but maybe not the airport, so. But carb heat worked, and then you know what? I was like, I'm going to eat the restaurant, it's going to be a great day. And as I got to the traffic pad, like, restaurant is closed, there's no water at the airport. So I went all the way out there and paid $10 to land there just to say I went there. Because Rhode Island charges for like every single airport. Oh, we got a little turbulence there, like they said in the air met. Wow, hey, it actually looks like real turbulence for once too. Good job. All right, we're going to go a little slower towards maneuvering speed here so that we don't have any problems. Maneuvering speed on this I think is 104. 105 full gross, so, and that goes lower as we don't have full, so, but we'll say 105. Let's get a little closer to 105 and we'll be fine. This turbulence. So we get to Sawyer though, we should be good. Update on where we are here. We're almost halfway there already, the Sawyer. And yeah, I didn't check my checkpoint, did I? No, because we're not at Perch Lake yet. Alright, ground speed of 103 knots, so I would like to kick the speed up more, but I also don't want the plane to break up, so we'll leave it there. We should be fine. We're still in the green. There's no big 45-degree turns or anything, so. Or if you're a commercial pilot, 60 degrees. Alright, I'm gonna look for our friend here. No, I don't see you. You must be on a different server, maybe. See that turbulence kicking the plane around a little bit. You can also see the low overcast skies here. So again, those storms are right to the south of us. That's part of what's causing this overcast stuff, but it's supposed to be clear as we get to Sawyer. So we'll see what happens. Perch Lake is going to be to the right again, out in the distance. But this is probably the best I've seen in turbulence in Microsoft Flight Simulator yet. So they must have done something with the 4th patch to make this happen. So if you're new, feel free to introduce yourself on the chat. Always love chatting with people. That's why we do this. It makes my flights a little more interesting. I do them either way, but I stream them and like to talk with people, so. There's a bunch of lakes out here. Oh yeah, yep. For VFR flying and bush flying, it's awesome. They still have a way to go on taxi lights, runways. There's random crashes to desktop once in a great while. And the newest thing I found out is that if you install a lot of custom scenery, like freeware and stuff, that it bogs down the load times. I was up to like 10 minutes and 53 seconds of loading time because I went on a scenery binge. So, oh yeah, I actually have the first Microsoft Flight Sim. I bought like all the old simulators in order. I had 98 already and up, but I collected them all. I just have to get a shelf in my office here to put them up on. So, well, Daniel, that's okay. It's okay to be addicted to flight sims. It's how often you fly on them. And I'll tell you this right now, when you get married, you don't get as much time on them, like me. You don't get as much time. So if you're single, get that time in now. Because my early 20s, like I would do like 12-hour days sometimes. It's just the way it was. But I do prefer flying in real life more. It just, the problem with that is it takes money. So, and I'm very blessed to have that YouTube channel that makes my money there, Eric DIY. So, oh yeah, that's right, you are. I totally forgot. You know what I'm talking about, Ben. You can relate. Love them to death, but it's not like the single days. All right, I'm gonna get a little more lighting in the cockpit here because it's getting a little darker. So radio lighting, floodlight, clear shield. There we go. It's 5:01 local time. That was cool. Yeah, combat flight. You mean the Microsoft ones? Like the World War II ones? So I still have my, what do you call that? Sidewinder 2, the force feedback. So, I don't know if they support force feedback in here. Like, I haven't seen them make like a yoke that has force feedback. I use a honeycomb and I love this thing, but I love them to have some type of force feedback with the honeycomb yoke. That'd be amazing, as long as it was there. But I started flying on Flight Simulator 98. Basically, my brother started in like FS4, and he wouldn't show me how to fly it because that's how wonderful my brother was back then. You know, it's just the way it was. Perch Lake, though, coming up on our right. That's right there. It's our next checkpoint, and so. Took things into my own hands, and I learned through the tutorials in Flight Simulator 98. I went to college for music, and before that was computer science. So combine those both loves, it kind of equals out the flight, right? But I was doing the tutorials on Flight Simulator 98 to learn VOR. Then I did like virtual airlines. It's about like the early 2000s. I actually ran one. It wasn't like the most successful one, but you know, it was nice. And then I went gigging and went for the rock lifestyle in my early 20s while also teaching music, so almost got signed. Didn't really get there, but yeah, definitely not the best flight models. They were cool though, and it's funny how you thought that was so high tech for graphics and stuff when it came out. So the last time I ran Flight Simulator 98 on a modern computer, I think I was getting like 200 frames per second, which was awesome because I remember back in the day you'd load the scenery in for like Reagan National, and I get like 9 frames. I'm like, oh man! But now it's like you can run anything. So, and this we're getting in the 40s, maybe high 30s now, high 30s, and I'm doing streaming and everything on the same computer, so I can't complain. They did a really nice job after they patched it a couple times. I think they still have a little work to do on flight models here though too, with the wind, because X-Plane seems to have better flight dynamics still. So, alright, I got 35 minutes or so for Perch Lake here. What did I say here? I said 31, so we are a little slower, but to be understood because I calculated for faster winds. So, just update the times here. Alright, we're supposed to be at Ned Lake in 7 minutes. Again, we want to be about 101, and this will double check us. This VOR is pointing 2, so it says I have to go to the left a little bit, which is true, because if you look at the GPS, it also tells you that. And that mod for the GNS 530 here, it works. I can actually put direct now in there and have no problems. So that's cool. So I was kind of bummed about that. And by practicing this, when I get into the 172N that I fly in real life at the flight school, it helps me get more situated with it, because the 152 has none of this, and the 172P is a VFR rated model only. See, now I talked about frames, so now it's going down to 9, because that's what it does. So 98 on the 486, that's awesome. Yeah, I've always cranked the graphics in these things and then kind of backed it off, but I think they did an okay job on this. I don't understand why I'm getting only 9 and 11 frames right now, though, as I just said that. I was getting like 30 something. I think it's because it loads the scenery, and when it does that, it takes up resources. Right, gotta look out for Ned Lake here. Ned Lake will be... It's gotta be close. Oh, it's right to my left. Be off my left here. Not that one. Probably be more out here somewhere. I like the scenery as we get east, you know, just a little more green and not as, I mean, I have nothing wrong with farms and stuff. See, I have a little, still kind of downloading the scenery, you could tell. See that? So that's why the frames went down. Now I'm at 30 again, so I don't know. But, when we were doing the flights out in like Montana and stuff, it's nice with the mountains and stuff, but to me it gets a little redundant with the farmland. Maybe it's just the New England person in me, I don't know. But we did the perimeter, so I didn't have to worry about going over the Rockies as much. We still had some high altitude flying at like 11,500 in certain sections, but it wasn't terrible. Got some turbulence again here, so I'm kind of liking the turbulence effects now. I think they're a lot better than what they were before the patches. And Rex Weather Force is supposed to get a patch this week as well too, so we'll see what happens with that. But you can see it's clearing up now, which is indeed what it says on Sky Vector. It says at Sawyer, it's overcast at 3,300, and winds are 230 at 5. And it's supposed to go up to Broken at 6,000. At let's see, 720. That doesn't make sense. Well, it's supposed to clear up. Let's say that as we go on our way here, according to the METARs. All right, we're gonna have a little issue coming up ahead in the tallest points that they have on the sectional. There's one at 2,800, but I think that's a tower. So if they have it in the simulator, we're gonna have to watch out for some towers as we head in. Ned Lake should be out there. Things shimmying in the wind. It's like Major League there with Jack Parkman. Does a little shimmy the woman in Cleveland love. That's what my plane does. That's from Major League, if you don't know. Major League 2, that's another good movie. Ned Lake seems to be this one right here. Or it could be more in the distance. 1, 2. There's a lake that goes up to it, so. I mean, a river. And I'm having to trim this thing out because of the wind, but we're okay. Again, I'm going a little fast. In real life, I'd probably turn that down a little bit, but I want to get there. I'm only doing a 97 ground speed here. So. My first computer I ever owned, well, I should say my parents owned, was a 386 running at 25 megahertz. And I think it had 2 gigabytes of RAM. I mean, no, 2 megabytes. 2 megabytes, not 2 gigabytes. So used to gigabytes now that we just kind of say it. And now we're running an i9 9900K that I built with my son. He's only 6, but I let him help build it. And upgraded the RAM to 32 before I got this simulator, because I only had 16 before that. The 2080 RTX, which just served its purpose. I also mined Bitcoin on it, so kind of made back a lot of money on that through that. Haven't sold any of it because it's going up. It's like skyrocketing now. We're at like 13,000 per Bitcoin. So I call it my retirement income. But I leave my computer on anyways, because like I said, I'm teaching remotely from home, high school band teacher, and I just leave it running while I teach. So it's like, I'm gonna have the computer on anyways, might as well earn some money for free. All right, Ned Lake should be up there. I don't like my altitude here though. Trim up. It'll help us with our speed too. Trimming up still. Some more RPMs there. Is that it? This isn't it right here. This is too close. So there'd be a lake after that, then it's up there. So that must be Ned Lake right there. That's our next checkpoint. We'll stay at 2,500 here. Even though the clouds are up a little higher, we'll just stay here. And just to update where we are, we're about 45% away of our flight. So we're probably 65% in. No, sorry, 55% into our flight for Sawyer International. Alvin trim's way too high. Ned Lake, everybody, way out there in the distance. That is our checkpoint, and I got 42 minutes on the stopwatch here, so let's hope that trims down a little bit. Trim is way too sensitive on this. All right, 42, that's what I got. All right, next one is Republic. It's 7 minutes, so let's see what I meant by that, because I planned these out a while ago. Oh, it's a little town off our left ahead. Excuse me. We also see Lake Michigan. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Off our left in the distance as well. Okay, this is all stuff on the sectional. And we're only about 20 minutes out. So, not a bad couple of flights here, and getting closer to the end here when I get back to Plymouth, Massachusetts, which is getting my real hometown base. We've been flying the perimeter and the virtual around the USA flights here. That's what we planned for this year's around the USA. Started in Plymouth, went all the way down to the south, all along the perimeter here. Wildfire still have some TFRs out there. That was a problem when we were out there earlier this year. And here's where we'll end up tonight. So we have to fly from Sawyer down here, run up to Maine and Plymouth, and then we're done. So I'm hoping by November that this stuff will be done. We'll see what happens. But having fun, just exploring the United States here. And I hope you are too, because that's probably why you're still here, if you're somewhat interested, which is cool. So thank you. I appreciate you watching. Alright, seems to be an orange line there. I'm trying to figure out what that is. Is that a route? Is that an air route? There's some military air routes around here. Wait a minute, it says something. No. Alright. There's some military airways around here. And again, that tower is supposed to be at 2,601 feet, so we gotta watch out for that if it's in the simulator up ahead. But I'm trying to get a little bit more towards Republic, which is a town or city on our left. That'll be our next checkpoint, and if anything failed and I still had my VOR going on here, I just follow this all the way in, so. Always good to set that if you can, if there's a VOR on the field. Just a redundant check of where we are and all. I want coffee like so bad right now, but if I drink it, I'll never go to sleep. It's that weird, awkward moment where like I can really use a coffee, but I can't because I'll be up all night with it. It is nearing midnight here, So I always know it's late when what is it? That streamer there, Canuck or something. Give me a second, because he's a band teacher too, which is why I watch his stream often. He's also a fun guy to watch. So what's his name? Canuck Musician on Twitch. He's on the West Coast. He's in, I think, around Vancouver. So when he's on, I'm usually like in bed and trying to get to sleep. But I try to watch his stream a little bit. Lower the RPMs here a little fast. Get towards that yellow arc. I don't like that. But I think we're out of the air met for turbulence. That green is where it is. We're definitely out of it, so we shouldn't see that much turbulence right now. And how about icing? We're still in there for icing, moderate icing, so we have to look out for that too as well. When I was flying to Duluth, we had some icing in the plane. Wow. Well, ground speed just picked up. We're at 126 knots, but I'm also like at the yellow there, so we gotta be careful. Alrighty then. Come on, trim up. I know it's because I lowered the RPM, but come on. Now we're getting quite the tailwind. Alright, out in the distance. Got some lakes and stuff. Should be a big lake. Up there's that lake. There's the Lake Michigan over there. And Republic should be off our left over here. So I don't know if we can see that. It's a really small town coming up. Unless this is it. Which there is no lakes right in back of it. They're more in the distance, so I don't know. Keep an eye out for it. GPS helps us so much with these checkpoints too. So. Technology has definitely changed flying for the better. It's just that you can't rely on it all the way. And if you ever do get a private pilot certificate, I do recommend you do not use electronic means in the cockpit to help you. That's just my personal opinion, because you need to know how to fly the traditional way and get everything done. So. Well, should be coming up. This should also be some type of thing at 1,830 feet out there. It's not a point, but this could be blocking our view slightly. I think that no, that might be it right there. Yeah, that's it right there. That's Republic. So, why is there a lake right next to it? Is there really a lake to it? That's not on the sectional. These lakes up ahead are on the sectional though. So I guess I guess it does spread out to there. Alright, cool. So that's Republic, Michigan, everybody, our checkpoint. So we're gonna come up on that. I have almost 49 minutes total flight time. And it should be about 49, so yeah, our times are doing pretty well now for checkpoints. So alright. Well, Sawyer International is the next one, and I usually don't worry about the time there, but it says we should be there in about 12 minutes. So, I also want to trim up, so I'm at 2,500. It's getting, the RPMs went down, so I can try to be more at maneuvering speed here, in case there's any turbulence. I gotta fly to Vegas in the simulator sometime, and I've done it, honestly, just not while streaming, but once we get these around the USA flights done, we're gonna do some destination things, I think. It's like Vegas, and I want to do a flight to Canada. I have not close family from Canada, but basically my family came down from Canada through New England for descendants. We just don't really associate with that side of family because there were a couple of weird, funky things that went on. So, not with me, but with prior descendants of mine. So, alright, that tower should be here, 2,601 feet. I don't see it. Should be coming up ahead of us. So if you see a tower, you let me know. You could be the co-pilot where I give you a briefing and say, and help me point out anything you see, like planes or skyscrapers, or, oh my god, there's a bird in front of us. Very nice lakes, huh? Sawyer's right over there. this you have to buy. It's called Rex Weather Force, and it's probably the best you're gonna get right now from Microsoft Flight Simulator. I like Rex products, but for weather, I like ActiSky better, but they don't make one for Microsoft Flight Simulator yet. They say they're going to look into it and decide if they want them. But this is like $20, I think it is, and it does way better than the default engine, because the default weather engine seems to be like delayed, and sometimes it's totally wrong, whereas this one downloads the METAR and it injects it in there. So it's not perfect, but it's definitely better, and it keeps updating the weather as you go. So again, here's the METAR, where we are 3,100, broken at 11,000. So yeah, it's comparable, you know. But Rex Weather Force, check it up. I probably can give you a web address to it. Rex Studios Weather Force. I'll post it here. Here you go. Alright, I'm sending the link. So if you want to check it out, this is where and I won't make any money off that or anything, so I just vouch for it because I use it. I want to have that as a disclaimer. I wouldn't ever just sell anything just because they pay me. They have to like the product. So, not that I've ever gotten an offer. So Rex, if you're listening, I'll vouch for Weather Force for now. They're supposed to be having a patch coming out too. It's supposed to make it a little more accurate. Because some people have had some crashes and problems with it. I haven't had any problems with it on my system though, so I must be one of the lucky ones. For 20 bucks, it wasn't that bad, and it does a way better job on weather. So. All right, this would be Class D, so I will have to call Minneapolis Center to get in there. So let me get that set up, because the way VATSIM works, it's going up. So if there's no one at the tower, then it goes to approach. If there's no one at approach, then you call in the center. And they're on 133.4. So we'll wait till about 10 miles out, which is double what Class D is, and I'll call into them like they're the tower. I also need some weather, so let me do that. 118.375. That might help, right? All right, here we go.
Kilo Sierra Alpha Whiskey Automated Weather Observation 2200 Zulu. Wind 225 Fat 5. Visibility 9er. Sky condition clear. Temperature 1C dew point. 1 tree C altimeter 3021.
302. I'm gonna listen one time.
Alpha Whiskey Automated Weather Observation 2200 Zulu. Wind 225 Fat 5. Visibility 9er. Sky condition clear. Temperature 1C dew point. 1 tree C altimeter 3021.
3021.
Kilo Sierra Alpha Whiskey Automated Weather Observation 2200 Zulu.
All right. Here's what I don't get. They didn't give me what the weather was.
Spacing, you can expect back direct Minneapolis.
They didn't say if it was Sierra or Gulf, whatever it was, which is usually what they do on Class D. So, all right, I'm gonna call them out again. 10 miles out, right at the edge of the VOR. Just gonna get more sensitive here as we go. And pattern altitude is about 2,200. So we'll start a slight descent towards that.
2656, Minneapolis approach 24/7 in that chain.
Set us up there pretty well. Yeah, I definitely recommend this for a weather engine for now. It's the best one you're gonna find. They have a freeware one out there too, but I never even tried it. I just went right for the Rex Weather Force. So you might want to look for the freeware one, which I don't even know what that's called. But it's supposed to do the same thing. It's supposed to download the current METAR and put it in there. You have to start the flight with clear weather, and then once you have the flight loaded in and you're in the simulator, you just push the start weather synthesis button, which will be green, and it'll inject it right in there for you. But the thing is, once you land at an airport too, it seems to turn off the weather.
Mike Tango Heavy, Minneapolis, ident.
That's VATSIM that you're hearing. That's Minneapolis Center that I'm gonna have to key into in a little bit.
777 Mike Tango Heavy, you're ready to contact about 2 west of Traverse City, climb maintain, flight level 400.
So if you're watching and want to see what we do in Class D airspace, attend at their tower and not Minneapolis Center. And they should do pretty much most of the same things that tower would do. This thing, I wish it would just trim down. Come on. But I hope Sunday works out for me and my friends. I hope we get to go to Keene, New Hampshire. The weather's been crap around here. So, but last time I checked, it's supposed to be mostly sunny with some clouds. Then I gotta look at the clouds. And we'll be traveling probably over Boston Class Bravo airspace. I'll probably be at 8,500 for the second time ever. Because in a lot of training, we don't go that high. And that's awesome. So, all right. Well, I'll be going tonight after that too. And thank you for watching. I'll see you later, Titanium. Again, thank you for coming in here. Always appreciate it. All right. So as we get east, like I said, it's just getting more and more luscious with the vegetation here. So.
At a 914 Minneapolis, radar contact, flight level 380, and you're clear direct to Omaha at your discretion.
I'm actually going to call him 12 miles out. We're about 12 miles out right now. So.
Is 3003.
That was weird. Did you see that? Just kind of went. Alright, let's do cruising descent now. Minneapolis Center, November 489er, Echo Foxtrot.
And you're stepping all over. Whoever's calling me, you're stepping all over somebody. United 914, go ahead with your readbacks.
I didn't hear him, so I'm going to wait.
Your choice. It's variable 6. You can expect ILS 32 left.
Try and get this down to 2,200. Give him some time there, then I'll call in. He's doing everything. So all these aircraft, they have a couple going into Minneapolis, St. Paul right now. So
Minneapolis Airport, maintain 270 knots.
that's why he's so busy. So. Minneapolis Center, November 489er, Echo Foxtrot.
Aircraft calling, say your location, please.
Cessna and Echo Foxtrot, we're 9 miles to the west of Kilo Sierra Alpha Whiskey, and we have current weather and requesting a full stop. That wasn't perfect, but it is what it is. Okay, now we have to trim up. These winds are pretty weird out here. He's probably checking out where I am.
You're going to Sawyer?
Affirmative for Cessna and Echo Foxtrot.
Sawyer's uncontrolled disseminate. You can change Unicom 122.8. Good night.
Roger. Over to Unicom. Thanks. Echo Foxtrot.
7 Mike Tango Heavy. Where are you going, sir?
He had an option there to do it or not. I thought I was within his range there. I guess not. It's saying I'm in his range on Fantastic though. Well, so would have been there, but he can deny me. It doesn't matter, and I'll just do it non-controlled like he wanted. So, all right, winds. I didn't even look where I'm going. 225. So I'm going to go 190, and that is a left pattern, Sawyer. So we're going to overfly. Well, actually, yeah, we're going to have to overfly the airfield. So let's climb a little bit here. And we're on VATC Unicom, just double checking. Good. Sawyer traffic, Cessna Echo Foxtrot, 7 miles to the west. We're going to fly the airfield at 2,500. Sawyer traffic. Not that anyone's going to hear me because no one's around me, but it's cool. Okay, let's get up there. Climb 2,500. Probably should actually be at 2,800, but because you have the jet pattern, traffic pattern 500 feet above that, which would be 2,700. But we're all right. Climbing 2,500. It should be right in front of us. We're 5 miles out. What we're going to do is we're going to do a teardrop. We're going to fly over, go to the right slightly, teardrop, left 45, and go into runway 19er. if that made sense. I'm doing all these hands. That's for the Italian in me right there. And this is it. I'm beat after this. We are going to call it a night after we land at Sawyer. So, let's get some visuals here. So Sawyer should be out here, which it is. That's the airport right there. I'll be landing 19er, so we overfly. Teardrop in, left downwind, game over. Once we're parked, of course. But alright, overfly the airfield. So your traffic says America Foxtrot 3 miles to the west, overflying the airfield at 2,600. Gonna be setting up a left 45 for runway 19er. Sawyer. Yeah, if obviously you're used to that as a you are a Marine pilot, is that what you said? Because if you're used to it, it gives you live air traffic control when people are on. But like Minneapolis Center that just said I'm outside of his area when it shows that I'm in it and fantastic, so I don't know. And it doesn't matter because he can deny me because he's center. They don't have to do flight following or anything like that, as you probably know. So we're just doing it like it's non-towered here, even though it's Class D in real life. They also have a new one coming out called PAWSCon, which I signed up for, but I've been using VATSIM. I mean, I've been using live air traffic control like since the 90s. So they used to have SATCO, and then that kind of turned into VATSIM. And they had another one called IVAO that popped up. And that one's more European traffic, if you ask me, because there's a lot more European people on that. VATSIM is more of the United States one, but PAWSCon's a new one coming out. And they're going to follow like real world like CTAF and Unicom. But it's very new, and you have to be invited to try it out. So I signed up for it, and I'm just waiting to see if they invite me. Because they're still working out the kinks. So, all right, cruising descent here. We're on to 2,200. Did I just have something going on there? So, oh, ships. Okay. But yeah, you get used to air traffic control, and keeps me on my toes. And even though I could have done a better job communicating there, you know, I got my point across, and it keeps me fresh for flying in the real world. So, this Plymouth is non-towered, and then I usually go to New Bedford, which is Class D, like this is. So I get the best of both worlds around where I fly in real life. Okay, let's go to the right a little bit. Got some houses over here. It's amazing the amount of detail they put in the detail. I mean, into the default scenery. And we'll take a turn to the left. We'll make sure it's clear over here before we do that. And then we're heading back to the airport right there and landing at it. And I heard that like traffic shows up on here. Microsoft Flight Simulator server traffic shows up. So, a runway 19er. That's what we're going for. And I want to stay at 2,200 for pen altitude. So let's trim up. Get a little more RPM. Oh, the RPMs I want to kind of go back on actually, because we have quite the tailwind if you notice. So yeah, we don't want to be doing that over here. So, not liking that. Ground speed of 117 knots. We're clear on the left. Let's turn left towards the airport, which should put us on like a 45-degree trajectory to get in there. And then we'll have a headwind, hopefully, and we'll be good. I've been using VATSIM, though, since it came out. And like I said, SATCO before that, which is pretty much the same thing. So, yep. And like the Microsoft Flight Simulator traffic, I mean, it is what it is. I leave it on because people like you and others want to fly with me, which is great. But VATSIM is very more professional, and some people get a little weirded out on that. They're like, oh my god, I gotta know how to do this and that. So you do have to get used to it. But it keeps real world pilots like me kind of practicing when we can't fly because of weather and stuff, which is nice to have. So there's Sawyer. We're on a 45, and we're about 3 miles out or so. So we'll call it. Sawyer traffic says Nordica Foxtrot 3 miles out on the 45, left downwind for runway 19er. Sawyer. Okay, so we're looking good. I'll probably go to the left a little bit more. We also want to slow down and also get to 2,200. These winds are really playing with the plane tonight. So we're getting to the evening here, which is nice to see. Kind of planned it that way, so. But the thing about VATSIM too is like if you want like a little peace and quiet, you could follow like real world procedure like I did. Like I could have had flight following all the way from Ironwood, but I said, I don't want to do that. In real life, I'd probably do that though, because it's nice to have an extra set of eyes on a radar for you looking for traffic, but ultimately it's your problem, so. Yeah, exactly, yeah. In fact, the Virtual USA Flying Club, we all fly on VATSIM, but I'm doing like a clinic hopefully this Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but you have to be a Virtual USA member and on VATSIM. And I'm going to go over communications at non-towered airports. Kind of like what I'm doing right now. But because we have some members that won't fly a lot of events because they get intimidated by the radio. So, we'll do our best. Alright, we're on downwind. Sawyer traffic, Cessna Echo Foxtrot, midfield left downwind, runway 19er, Sawyer. Well, a little low. At least we'll line up the runway. Actually, I'm a little far out, but you want to be about halfway up the wing strut here. So I should be more like over here with the runway, but it's not anything we can't fix. And when we're right across from the numbers, we'll go to 1700 RPMs. Keep climbing here. All right, right about there. Let's get to 2,200 first, actually. There we go. All right, back to 1,700 RPMs. Very good. Under 110 knots, 10 degrees of flaps, and angle down slightly. There we go. All right, we're gonna pick a visual point, probably about right around here, where I'm gonna turn base. It should be about 80 knots. And I know that everyone says white arc, but in the 172, you see that blue thing? Anything 110 knots and below, you can put the first 10 degrees in. So we should be about 80 knots right there, descending about almost 500. That's good to see. And we're a little further out, so we're going to turn our left base right now. Clear on the left. And just like real life, the CTAF here is 122.8 for anything in VATSIM. So anyone that's not being controlled would hear you as long as they're within distance, because they go by distance on VATSIM. So when we do like the fly-ins and stuff and the events on the Virtual USA Flying Club, you can hear everyone calling on the Unicom, like real life. It's pretty cool. All right, right about there. Sawyer traffic, Cessna 9er Echo Foxtrot, left base, runway 19er, Sawyer. And we're gonna eventually slow down to 1,500 RPMs. We're in the white arc, so another 10 degrees. We're a little far out, so I'm going to try to keep that at 70 knots. A little bit more on throttle here. And the peripheral vision sucks here, but see, by extending the downwind, I had a better view of the runway there. So, all right, we're going to turn final, clear on the left. This is it, last landing of the day, winds at 225. So I should have a little correction from the right there, because the wind should be coming from the right. Ooh, see what I'm saying about the peripheral? But by extending that downwind, you have enough time to set it up better. It's saying I'm on glide scope here, so we're doing pretty good. I like to be a little higher than the glide scope, but that's just me. There we go. All right, good. As we get closer, we'll do full flaps, and we'll try to land at around 65 knots. We're a little fast right now, so push back on the throttle, pull back on the throttle. Should be about 70 right now. That's okay. All right, put the flaps in a little early. Full flaps. Throttle out until we get to around 65. There we go. I'll switch to my report diagram at this time. But see, we should be getting a little wind from the right. It's only 5 knots though, so it's not going to be much. But I should be feeling that a little bit. Not a lot, just a little. And it doesn't do a good job of that in the simulator still. Here we go. Welcome to Sawyer. Well, actually, you know, I'm not going to say that till I land. So, good idea. Throttles out. Right about here. No. There. Flare. Now I'm looking out the left side. I'm checking my peripheral vision. Flare. Not bad. All right, good. Flaps up. Aerodynamic braking the best I can by pulling the yoke back. And might be able to turn off at this taxiway. Hey, in real life, it says that this part of the runway is closed. Hey, I went with the simulator, so don't correct me. But the newest thing, it says that that part of the runway is closed. Bravo to Alpha. Okay. Clear the runway first, then we'll do our checklist after we clear here. All right. Sawyer traffic, Cessna Echo Foxtrot, clear of runway 19. Sawyer. 19er. All right, checklist. I pretty much have it memorized, but sometimes I check it still. Keeps me there. So, all right. After landing, flaps up. I already did it. Strobes off. Good. Landing light I leave on, and the taxi alone I leave on because I like leaving them off for visibility. You know, it says turn them off. And trim set for takeoff, which it basically is. All right, good. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go down this taxiway. We're going to take a right, I believe. And there's only... Oh, the general aviation terminal is all the way down A. So, all right. So we're going to go all the way down Alpha, not A. Way to rev that engine up. See if that altimeter was set right. Almost. Changed a little bit. All right, clear on the left. No one's there. Boy, what a nice way to end it, huh? The evening here. The only thing better is if they had some lightning in the distance like they had earlier in the flight. But as we near the end of this flight, I just want to say thank you once again for coming out and watching my stream. Always appreciated. If you haven't followed it on Twitch yet, would really appreciate that. I need, I think, 10 more people to get to affiliate status so I can start getting some custom emojis and stuff like that. And if you're on YouTube, obviously I love subscribers there as well, and thumbs up on any videos you might watch. The whole series of the Around the USA flights is archived on there. So I'm not saying spend 40 hours in a row watching it all, but you can watch previous flights that we did since June. We hope to finish all these flights in November. I think that's the time frame I'm looking at. So I'm going to go all the way down Alpha because the general aviation, this is the regular terminal area coming up on our left over here. The general aviation's all the way down there, so we have to go all the way down. But greatly appreciated. And I am giving out keychains to frequent viewers of the channel. So I have a couple more people I have to contact. So the more you watch, the more I try to get you a keychain. So an Eric Flake keychain. Sent out my first 2 last week, and I have a couple more to go. And that could be on YouTube if you drop a lot of comments, stuff like that. So feel free to drop some positive comments on either place. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, we got an aileron correction to the right slightly, even though it's not showing it, because the wind's coming from 2-3. So that's what we do in the real life. We turn the aileron, the yoke into the wind. See, that's coming from in front of us. Keeps the plane straight and true on the ground. And we're not turning the next taxiway. I hate those taxi lights down in the middle. I really do. That says passenger terminal, so I guess we could park there. I mean, it's not a big airport, but I'm going to go all the way down the general aviation terminal, because that seems to be the place that I would go in real life. My ear is itchy. Ow. Alright, good. So, taking the next left. Not this one, the next one. And that should be taxiway Echo, and general aviation should be over there. I think we're going to do a raid here at the end too, because I'm trying to get more people to see my channel. So if that's okay, I think we're going to go with that person I said earlier. Oop, that's the taxiway I'm supposed to turn on. We'll just do a little turn around here. I guess my rudder pedal just cracked with plastic inside of it. That was good. All right, we're good. We made it. We made it. Don't run over the fake taxi lights. Gotta buy some new rudder pedals as soon as they get them in stock. Everything's sold out thanks to COVID and Microsoft Flight Simulator coming out and everyone buying up stuff. But it's cool. It's nice to see more people in the hobby and getting things going here. So, all right, that is the terminal in front of us. At least it's supposed to be. The generic buildings here. I'll park right next to this. Is it a TBM? I don't know what that is. Here we go. Straighten out the wheels. Checklist will be at 1,000 RPM while I do this, so keep the mags from falling. All right, ELT verify silent. That's the emergency locating transmitter. That's this red thing. So you only turn it on if you have a problem. It automatically turns on if you have an accident, and it's worthy of it, I guess. Avionics off. Okay, that's good. All lights are gonna go off except for beacon. We'll also turn off the panel lights at this time. You don't have to. You usually turn them off after, but I figure there's still a little bit of daylight left, so we're good. Good. Anything we can turn off for powered stuff, we turn off before we turn off the plane. So we go. Mixture, full lean. Mags off. Master off. Beacon off. Parking brake on. And let's take the drone for a little ride here. Welcome to Sawyer, everybody. Go a little faster here. So again, it's just a Class D airport in Michigan. And it looks like they're using the main terminal ramp for a lot of GA over here. So I don't know if that's VATSIM traffic or if that's real life, but someone's departing there. And that is the runway we landed on. There's really not a lot around here, huh? And there's some buildings, but it's very sparse. Interesting. Nice sunset in the distance. Again, we parked at the General Aviation terminal over here. That's one heck of a long runway, too. How long is that thing? I mean, I can't go back because they closed off part of it, but it says 9,000 feet. And it's not a high density altitude airport, so I'm wondering why it's that big, but we're parked right down there. Right here. So we're gonna zoom right back in. And this is sadly where I say, or happily say, thank you for watching my stream. Again, quick follow on Twitch. Give me more followers. We're trying to get to 50 so we can get some custom emojis and other features that come with 50 followers, excuse me. And also check out the videos on the Eric Flight YouTube. Like and subscribe to whatever you like. I'm not going to force you. Like the content, but I'm hoping that you do. And if you watch this whole stream or even just tune in, I really appreciate it. And with that, we're going to raid another Twitch channel here. Go to Canuck Musician there. He runs a pretty good stream and should be good. So, but I will see you and have a great night. I also have to do this on my thing here. I'm getting used to this rating thing still. Is it going? Oh yeah. Okay, one view is ready. Hey, whatever we can do, we're gonna do. Have a great night though.